There's the microphone. What's up, everybody? How we doing? The Blue Jays and the Yankees, ALDS, game number 1. I can't wait. It is going to be a great afternoon at the Sky Dome. Great to see everybody here in the chat. We got Lisa Aiello, Sonia Santos, Stefan, Carmen was in earlier as well. Great to see everybody here in the chat. Now let's get the predictions out here in the chat. What do you think the record is going to be today? Do you think the Jays are going to get the win? I think the Jays are going to win, and I'm going to go with 6-4 is the victory for the Jays. I should probably type that into the chat. There you go, Stephen A. in the house. Yo, Mike. Yo, Stephen. How you doing, my man? Good to see you. All right, Jays 6-4 over the Yankees. My prediction. Let's go. All right. It's out there in the chat. Andrea, how you doing, Andrea? Great to see you. Go Jays, go. This is going to be a lot of fun at the Sky Dome. All right, let's take it over to the radio. Make sure you guys hit the like button down below. We'll see you guys real soon. Come on, Jays, let's start this off right. We need to get a good start to this game. Let's get the Sky Dome rocking. All right, we'll see you guys.
Instead, he played one game against the Blue Jays in the regular season. All right, we got a couple more minutes before we get into game action, but I do want to get you back to the guys to have the call of the game on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Game 1 of the American League Divisional Series coming your way in a scant few more minutes. With the call, here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. DeMarlo Hale handing in the lineup card for the Blue Jays, and his fellow bench coach and Brad Ausmus handing it in for the Yankees. The 6-man umpiring crew, because it's the postseason, right now is assembling at home plate. Chris Siegel will handle balls and strikes today. Adam Hammery at first, Jordan Baker at second, Tony Randazzo at third. Down the left field line, Dan Bellino, the crew chief, and down the right field line, Roberto Ortiz. It's the Blue Jays and Yankees getting set for Game 1 of the ALDS. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. And Chris, you have the contrasts of these teams, not only in their style of play, but also how this last week has gone. While the Blue Jays have been resting, playing inter-squad games at home, the Yankees had a hard-fought series against the Boston Red Sox. They lost Game 1 of that best 2 out of 3, then became the first team ever to come back in that 2 out of 3 new format that was put in a couple of years ago, winning Game 2 and Game 3 in a low-scoring way, kind of counter to what we think about from the Yankees over the course of this season. And so they do enter Rogers Center with a good bit of momentum, especially how they played late in the regular season as well.
And I look, the rust versus rest argument has gone on for a number of years, and the Blue Jays, I think, needed these rest days. I think there were a lot of guys that were banged up. A lot of arms needed some rest. So I think this did them some good. They had a couple of workout days, a couple of split squad games. So they probably are coming into this game and into this series feeling better than they did at the end of 2025 regular season. So I'm not concerned about that. With that said, I was very impressed with how the Yankees looked, with how they pitched, how they swung the bat. And Aaron Judge really didn't do much. That's the interesting part about that series. Aaron Judge really didn't do much. He didn't hit any home runs, and the Yankees were still able to beat the very good Boston Red Sox. Kevin Gausman knows how to pitch Aaron Judge. He knows how to pitch Giancarlo Stanton. If Gausman can locate the fastball, locate the split finger, and even locate that slider to those two guys, I think he's going to be in a good spot.
Kevin Gausman getting the start for the Blue Jays today. They're waiting to trot out onto the field. When they do, they'll be wearing the royal blue jerseys, white pants, and the semi-throwback caps. White panel in the front, but the current Blue Jay logo, their adapted hats from Hall of Fame weekend. On the other side, the Yankees are in their road grays jersey and pants. For Kevin Gausman, 32 starts this year to a 10-11 record. Couple bumpy ones right at the end of the season. ERA finished off at 3.59 for Gausman, but outside of those last two starts, a really strong second half for him. Chris mentioned the pitch mix, a four-seamer, a slider, and a changeup. And this is a team that Gausman has seen a good handful this year. Last time Gausman saw the Yankees, it was September 5th. He went 8 innings of 1-run ball at Yankee Stadium to lead the Blue Jays to their lone win in that 3-game series in September. Gausman knows that the Yankees know him, and he knows them very well from being in this division with the Blue Jays and previously with the Orioles. He had said yesterday it's not going to be some sort of unique plan as he trots out onto the field and the fans get loud here. Kevin Gausman told us yesterday, Chris, he's got 2 really good pitches. He's going to throw them a lot because he thinks he can get people out with those 2 pitches. He's not going to change much.
Well, Kevin Gausman, a lot like Trey Savage, has very, very good stuff, and there's not much of a game plan. Locate your pitches, and you're probably going to get guys out. That's what he's going to do today. When Kevin Gausman gets into trouble, he tends to leave balls over the middle of the plate. He pushes the split finger. The slider becomes a little bit of a spinner. But if he's locating that pitch, if he's locating the fastball, 96, 97 miles an hour, and he's getting on top of the split finger, he can tell guys what's coming, and they're still not going to hit it. I'm not concerned at all. There's some holes in some of these guys' swings. There's obvious holes in Giancarlo's swings. There's smaller holes in Aaron Judge's swings, but I trust the stuff of Kevin Gausman over the power and the swings of those guys.
Gausman continuing his warm-up pitches right now with fans on their feet. They will likely be up out of their seats for much of the day. Something that Kevin Gausman knows. He started here in a playoff game in 2022 in the series against the Seattle Mariners. He's made in total 3 playoff starts in his career and 8 playoff appearances. His 2 starts as a Blue Jay in the postseason have had mixed results. The Seattle start, he was really good until it fell apart, and they ended up coughing up an 8-1 lead in that game. And then the Minnesota start 2 years ago. But Gausman acknowledged he's in a much different point in his career than he was, especially from 2022 and even from 2 years ago in 2023. Gausman on the back of the hill. Trent Grisham, the Yankee leadoff hitter, kicking away chalk at the back of the lefty box. And the fans get loud. October baseball is back at Rogers Center. Home plate umpire Chris Siegel fixes on his mask, walks behind home plate in the booze for the announcement of Trent Grisham, who stepped out of the box after kicking away chalk. He's waiting for Gausman to step onto the rubber. Gausman brings his hands together. Right on left pitch to begin this game. Gausman kicks and deals. And the first pitch is bounced toward first. Stays fair for Vlad, who gloves and steps on the bag. Trent Grisham retired on 1 pitch. 1 out in the top of the first.
And Trent Grisham does not agree with that call. He is beside himself right now, having a quick conversation with Chris Siegel. Aaron Judge is actually almost in the batter's box next to him, and Grisham is still arguing whether that ball was fair or foul.
Aaron Boone is out there to act as a meat shield, I think, for Trent Grisham. So Vladdy stabbed that ball with his arm over the chalk, but it was after the bag. Oh, and you know what happened? We just saw on replay. That ball hit Trent Grisham in the foot, and the umps didn't realize.
Yeah, it's very obvious, too.
Grisham's got a big point, but that's not a reviewable play. You can only review fair foul beyond the base umps, as the Blue Jays very well know. And now Grisham and Boone will head back off the diamond. No one ejected. Boone kind of came in and calmed it down, I think, a little bit, because the Yankees can't lose their center fielder in the first inning. Gausman will take it, though. 1 out on 1 pitch, and now he offers home to Aaron Judge. First pitch popped up. First base side foul. Long run, Vladdy, near the side warning track. Leans into the netting, and it hits off the netting too high for him to reach it. It's out of play, foul, 0-1.
You think Trent Grisham went back to that dugout, looked at the iPad, and calmed down, or do you think it's worse now that he saw that ball actually did hit him in the toe?
I don't know if you need to look. I'm sure he felt it. Either way, Trent Grisham in the dugout, 1 out, top of the first. 26 degrees and sunny, roof open in downtown Toronto. Gausman's 0-1 to Judge. Hit sharply through the left side, a base hit into left field. Single for Aaron Judge in the first inning. He went 4 for 11 in the wild card series. All 4 of those hits were singles as well.
Not a great pitch from Kevin Gausman, but not a bad pitch. All you want to do is stay out of the middle of the zone. That one actually caught a lot of the play. Didn't really do much. It was just kind of a spinning slider. I think Kevin Gausman got lucky there that Aaron Judge didn't do more damage than he did.
Judge on first. A single from him is a win in some ways. He takes his lead with 1 out in the top of the first, and Cody Bellinger up. Right on left the pitch. Swing and a miss. Real nasty splitter unleashed there by Gausman. Had Bellinger way out in front, 0-1. Cody Bellinger, a one-time World Series champion in 2020 with the Dodgers. Faces an 0-1 pitch from Gausman. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of playoff experience overall for Bellinger. 72 career playoff games, all with the Dodgers until this year. And now Bellinger will ask for time after a long look in by Gausman. Brightest moment for Bellinger, likely the 2018 NLCS. He was MVP of that. And he's been in a World Series 3 different times. The 1-1. On the ground toward first, it hooks foul past the first base coach of the Yankees, Travis Chapman. It's 1-2.
Aaron Judge does have 12 stolen bases this season. He's been caught 5 times, and it doesn't look like he has any desire to try to take second base. The lead isn't very big.
The 1-2. Line toward left field. That's slicing and foul into the seats. Up the left field line. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Cody Bellinger stays alive. Judge still jogging back to first. Game 3 of the AL wildcard. Bellinger hit a double in the 4th inning of that game. Slid into second, injured his left foot. But he's in there today. The 1-2 pitch. And he lifts it out to center, playable for Dalton Varsho. Walking forward in the sun, he makes the grab, and there's 2 outs in the top of the first. Judge remains at first base.
That was a fantastic pitch from Kevin Gausman. He missed his spot actually by quite a bit, but it was a good miss. They were trying to come up above that strike zone. He missed in, really ate up Cody Bellinger. Great pitch and a great result for Kevin Gausman.
More boos raining down, this time on the head of Ben Rice, first baseman for the New York Yankees, and a left-handed hitter. Judge on first, 2 outs and no score, top of the first inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Another lefty hitter for the Yankees, another nasty splitter from Gausman to get 1 out in front. It's 0-1. Rice hit one of the few Yankee homers in the wild card series. Hit 1 out in game 2. 0-1. Swing and a miss again. Taking advantage of the aggressiveness of the rookie. Gausman with 2 great splitters.
And if you're going to throw that pitch again, you better get that thing down in the dirt. Ben Rice can go down and golf home runs. We've seen him do that before.
43,000 on their feet. Towels waving at Rogers Center. 2 outs, Judge on first, and the 0-2. Low with the splitter. He did go way down there to get the chase, or tried to, and Rice laid off.
That was a good location, but I think it was a ball out of the hand, so it was an easier take for Ben Rice.
Gausman bouncing his left foot. Comes still. Kicks in the 1-2. Popped up, foul out of play left side. Way over the third base dugout and into the sea of hands. First playoff game at Rogers Center since Game 2 of the 2022 American League Wild Card versus the Seattle Mariners. Blue Jays trying to finish off the top of the first. Kevin Gausman needs 1 more good pitch. His 1-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A scoreless top of the first for Gausman. Around the hit from Judge. And George Springer will hit when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey you, while we've got your ear, let's talk about what's catching everyone's eye. Is it the chipped paint flaking off your garage? Or that squeaky floorboard you always ignore? Don't worry, help is always within reach at Home Hardware. Turn those side eyes into second looks at the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno sale. Save 35% on Beauty Tone Pure interior and exterior paint. And save up to 40% on in-stock vinyl and SPC flooring. Earn and redeem Scene Plus points at the Bring Beauty Tone Home Reno sale on now until October 22nd. Only at Home Hardware and Building Centers. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian.
Our team knows it takes teamwork and staying power to go the distance, and a hunger to bring it home. That's why Crown Rust Control stands proudly beside them, because we know what it takes to go the distance for Canadians. We've been helping your vehicles go the distance for over 40 years, keeping them strong, reliable, and ready for the road. Get your vehicle playoff ready. Bring it home to your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Crown Rust Control, proud sponsor of your Toronto Blue Jays. Bring it home, Canada.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard. Hurry into your local Subaru dealership today for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models and get great value that, you guessed it, comes standard. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball.
A go-ahead RBI double in the sixth. It's 5-4 Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the first inning brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Scoreless top of the first, authored by Kevin Gausman, so it's 0-0 as we return to Rogers Center, Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Luis Gil gets the start for the Yankees. George Springer, Nathan Lucas, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will hit for the Blue Jays in this bottom of the first. For Gil, in an abbreviated season, 4-1 with a 3.32 earned run average in 11 starts. 27-year-old has good stuff, the four-seamer, slider, and change. Although dealing with a lat injury most of the year, the stuff is diminished from what it was last year. That hasn't impacted the results, though, for the reigning American League Rookie of the Year in Gil.
That fastball is about 1.5 miles slower this year than it was in his rookie season.
27-year-old from the Dominican Republic kicks and offers to George Springer, in the first pitch hit foul. There's 97 from Gil at the top of the zone. It's 0-1, and that looks a lot more like the Rookie of the Year here.
Yeah, averages about 95.5 so far this season with that fastball. Like you said, the first one was 97.
Into the wind is 0-1. Hooked on the ground at third. McMahon angles toward the line. Gloves, throws on the run to first and just gets Springer for the out. Big difference in the Yankees from July to now is that guy at the hot corner. He hasn't hit a ton for New York, but every ground ball over there was an adventure in July, and it no longer is with a good defender in Ryan McMahon.
And he made a great play there. I thought for a split second George Springer might beat that out. But like you said, McMahon has a very sure glove over there making a great play.
We welcome you to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 1 out in the bottom of the first, no score, Blue Jays and Yankees. The pitch to Nathan Lucas. Outside and high, ball 1. Got to stay disciplined with Gil. That's what Addison Barger told me earlier today. 1-0 pitch. Hit up the middle sharply, 2 hops, and it's gloved off to the left. Volpe, he'll throw over to first, and he's made a nice play. 2 good plays on grounders to the left side of the infield. 2 down.
Yeah, Luis Gil walked 33 guys in his 57 innings this season. You have to force him to be in the strike zone. You cannot expand with less than 2 strikes.
Fairly quick at-bats by the Blue Jays to start the game, somewhat surprisingly. Only 4 pitches in. Gil's recorded 2 outs, and here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The wind in the pitch. High, ball 1. 4th time in the playoffs for Vlad. 4th season that he's made the playoffs in his career. He's played 6 total playoff games. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back. He was going for it all on that spinner. And that does look a lot more like Vlad than the Vlad we saw the last 2 weeks of the year. It's 1-1.
That's good to see. That was a hanging spinner from Luis Gil. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. actually shaking his head. He knows he missed that.
1-1 pitch. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. A little hop and a skip from Vlad. Soto shuffling as the count goes to 2-1. John Schneider talked about the week off being big for Guerrero. 2-1. Vlad launches one. Left field and deep. Bellinger going back. Looking up at the wall. It's out of here. Jays take a 1-0 lead on the first career postseason home run for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he is back in October form.
We have been waiting for that, and the Blue Jays have been waiting for that. That was just a floating changeup from Luis Gil, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was all over it.
First pitch to Addison Barger, a check swing on a miss high, appeal to third, and Tony Randazzo said he swung. It's 0-1, but again, 1-0 Blue Jays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. homering them in front in the first. 2 outs, bases empty, this building alive, the 0-1. Barger takes high and outside.
Is this the 9th inning or the first inning, Ben? Holy cow.
The fans have been waiting for this, so has Vlad. He's heard it all over the last couple of weeks. And that's his first big moment this October. 1-1 to Barger. Bends the knee, takes low. Might have had the zone there. Barger gets the benefit of a missed call by Chris Siegel. 2-1.
That is a fantastic pitch from Luis Gil.
Austin Wells was not too enthused, his battery mate. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Barger looking to go back-to-back. That four-seamer worked in on him. 2-2.
It actually had a little bit of cut right underneath the barrel of Addison Barger.
One thing Barger said earlier today about Gil this year that's a little sneaky. Velocity's down, but the fastball's cutting, and it's jamming a lot of left-handed hitters. 2 outs, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Elevates at 96 to punch out Barger, but the Blue Jays take a first-inning lead. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a solo home run. It's 1-0 Blue Jays after an inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hear the music that took her from the streets of Medellin to sold-out stadiums around the world.
Hi everyone, this is Karol G and welcome to Karol G Radio.
The stories behind the anthems and the moments that turned heartbreak into hits. Bold, unstoppable, 100% Tropico Queta.
This channel, it's for all my fans who've been on this journey with me.
Karol G Radio. Now for a limited time on Channel 79 and at home with the SiriusXM app.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high interest rates? You could pay it off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. That's right. Get cash now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. LoanPronto.com. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. A client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and saved $1,800 a month. One call changed their life. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash now to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. 855-2-PRONTO. We're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 855-2-PRONTO or go to loanpronto.com. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey there, baseball fans. Conan O'Brien here to let you know that every Monday you can check out a new episode of my podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Each week, listen as I'm joined by some of the people I enjoy most. Perhaps we find some real friendships. Usually not. They don't stick around long. But we have a blast here. I play some of my favorite moments from my many decades in late night, my podcast, and a bunch of other great shows. That's Conan O'Brien Radio, Channel 104, here on Sirius XM.
Toronto on top. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. It's the Blue Jays and the Yankees, and Kevin Gausman back out on the hill. Chris, what did you think of Gausman's first? He gave up a hit, but no runs to the Yankees stranding Judge on first.
Well, it seemed like he had a pretty good feel for that split finger, and like we talked about before the ball game, he will have to throw that split finger probably a little bit more than usual just because there are 6 lefties in this lineup. It'll act like a changeup. Again, the most important thing for Kevin Gausman, don't push that split finger. Make sure you get out front and you get on top of that thing.
Leading off for the Yankees in this top of the second, a guy who could tie this game in a flash. Giancarlo Stanton is up to the plate for New York, coming off a 24-homer season despite playing in only 77 games. Gausman set 1-0 Blue Jays, and the first pitch of the second is taken by a buckled Stanton for strike one. Infield defense shifts toward third base. The second baseman Clement plays up the middle, and Vladdy at first way off the line. 0-1 pitch. Tapper right side foul. Stanton was trying to check his swing on a fastball in. And it's 0-2, and when you get it in on Stanton because he's so closed off, it must feel like it's twice as far in on him.
You have to come inside to Giancarlo Stanton at least once during an at-bat. That was a great pitch there.
Stanton with his closed stance almost looks toward right center as he faces Gausman. 0-2. He is ripped on the ground to third. Barger blocks it, picks it up with the bare hand and throws over to first. Vladdy with a little stretch up to reel it in, and Stanton retired, one out.
And that's what happens when you come up and in. You make those big guys feel uncomfortable, and then that opens up the outside part of the plate. That split finger right there wasn't a fantastic split finger, but again, because Kevin Gausman had just come up and in with that good hard fastball, it opened up the outside part of the plate, and you get the weak ground ball there.
A good job by Barger not rushing there. Stanton with first percentile sprint speed in the majors. Pitch down to Jazz Chisholm Jr. outside ball one. Blue Jays 1, Yankees nothing. 1 out in the top of the second with the bases empty. Chisholm, a left-handed hitter, 31 homers this year. The 1-0 pitch, called strike. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is coming off the 4th ever 30-30 season in New York Yankees history. 31 homers, 31 steals for Chisholm. It's him, Alfonso Soriano twice, and Bobby Bonds as the only 4 Yankees 30-30s. Next pitch, hit back foul, bounces up over our heads into the TV booth, I believe, and now back down onto the 100 level seats. It's 1-2.
Jazz Chisholm's a good player. You have to make good pitches. Can't leave crippled breaking balls over the heart of the plate. He loves hitting those.
Gausman ahead of him, 1-2. He kicks and fires. And the pitch is ripped on a line to right and down for a base hit. Cut off on 2 hops near the corner, Lucas. Lucas spins, throws it back into Clement, and it's a 1-out single for Chisholm.
It wasn't a terrible pitch from Kevin Gausman. It was a fastball up at the top of that strike zone, but he missed his spot again by quite a bit. They were trying to go up and away. They probably would have missed the barrel of Jazz Chisholm if he had hit his spot, but it kind of leaked back over the heart of the plate. Again, it was a little bit up elevated, but Jazz Chisholm is very good at getting to those baseballs at the top of that strike zone.
And as we've previously mentioned, he's a threat to run here. Leading off first with 1 out. Ryan McMahon up, left-handed hitting third baseman. The pitch, swing and a miss. Perfectly located fastball on the bottom outside corner. Gausman gets ahead of McMahon, the former Rocky, 0-1. Heavy infield shift to the first base side. And the right on left pitch. Just outside. Kirk tried to drag it back into the zone, but couldn't fool Chris Siegel. Kirk turned around for a moment to talk with the home plate ump. It's 1-1.
I would actually be shocked if Jazz Chisholm didn't try to take second base at some point, especially with 1 out, the bottom part of the order coming up.
McMahon's the 7 hitter. 1-1 pitch. Called strike. 96 caught a lot of the plate there. Just kind of surprised McMahon, who was late to start his hands, and took it. It's 1-2. McMahon only had 4 at-bats in the wild card series, went 1 for 4. He did walk once, and he punched out 2 times. Chisholm on first, 1 out. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Love that pitch there. You get McMahon out front. He's probably thinking something softer, probably a split finger. You change the eye level with that elevated fastball. Now you can go back to the split finger.
Late lead taken by Chisholm. 2-2 pitch. Just outside again.
Or you can dot that fastball. That was a fantastic pitch. Just off the plate.
With 2 strikes, McMahon has taken a pair of pitches, maybe half a ball off the plate. And he's worked himself into a full count. 1 out, Chisholm on first. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the second. Step off, throw to first. Chisholm dives back in. After McMahon hits, we'll go to the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. On now for a limited time. All-you-can-eat classic Angus burgers for just $14.99. You heard that right. Visit stlouiswings.com for full details. You are welcome. Gausman set. Full count, 1 out. And the pitch. Lifted foul into the seats left side. Out of play. Let's just go to the out-of-town scoreboard right now with that foul off. And them getting Gausman a new baseball. Only other game in action, NLDS between the Cubs and Brewers is still a blowout. 9-2. The Brewers lead the Cubs. They scored 6 in the first to the Brewers and 3 in the second. Here in Toronto, 1-0 Blue Jays and another 3-2 pitch from Gausman to McMahon. Broken bat liner, diving catch, Vladdy pops up, steps on the bag for an inning-ending double play. What a start for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Fans are wild for him again, and at the middle of the second, still 1-0 Blue Jays. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Capital One, we're more than just a credit card company. We're people just like you who believe in the power of yes. Yes to new opportunities. Yes to second chances. Yes to a fresh start. That's why we've helped over 4 million Canadians get access to a credit card. Because at Capital One, we say yes, so you don't have to hear another no. What will you do with your yes? Get the yes you've been waiting for at CapitalOne.ca/yes. Terms and conditions apply.
Your business runs 24/7, but what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints that require service? No problem. We also offer preventative maintenance inspections to eliminate the chaos and expense of unplanned emergencies. Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks, trusted for over 60 years. Visit BagleyOverheadDoors.com today.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama. Made precisely for you.
Hi, this is Tyler Heineman.
This is Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball
on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
After a diving catch and a double play initiated by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the Blue Jays are back to the bats, leading 1-0 over the New York Yankees at Rogers Center in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host today. Nick Blackmore, our producer. Stephen Coyle, Andrew Adams, and Tom Young, our technical directors. Really appreciate you tuning in to the first game of the 2025 postseason run of the Blue Jays. Luis Gil back on the hill for the Yankees, and Alejandro Kirk will lead off for Toronto. Just about the most popular guy in Toronto right now, Alejandro Kirk, hit 2 home runs in Game 162, including the grand slam, drove in 6 to help the Blue Jays win the division. And he'll lead off here against Gil. It's a right-on-right matchup. Gil turns, kicks, and offers. First pitch crushed, left field and deep. That ball is headed to the second deck and gone! You can't stop him right now. Alejandro Kirk makes it 2-0 Blue Jays in the second.
I was about to say, Ben, I think Vlad is back on top. Alejandro Kirk is back on top now. What a swing from him.
Fastball in. Almost right on the black, and Kirk yanked the hands in to launch another deep homer to left. And the Blue Jays are the team with the big swings early in this game, leading 2-0. Luis Gil looking to settle in his pitch to Dalton Varsho. High ball 1. The wind in the 1-0. Varsho swings and misses at a back foot. Four-seam fastball, but almost looked like a back foot slider with the amount of cut on that pitch for Heel. The 1-1. Outside off the glove of Wells all the way to the backstop. And that's one of the first times we've seen the erratic nature of Luis Heel come out in this game. He kicks and deals. Varsho hits it foul off of his own foot. It rolls up the first baseline. It's 2-2.
You have to imagine that the crowd is getting to him just a little bit. I've never seen Rogers Center this loud before. Even with the roof open, it tends to not be as loud, but I mean, this is wild. I'm sure he's having issues hearing that pitch comm as well.
2-2 pitch. High ball 3. Only the third career postseason start for Heel. He made 2 last year during the Yankees' run to the World Series at Cleveland in the ALCS and then at home in the World Series. 3-2 pitch. And Varsho hooks it foul on the ground. Bounces into the sidewall, and they'll do it again at 3-2.
He got his pitch. That was a four-seam fastball right down Broadway, and he just rolled over. You could see that front shoulder fly open.
It's a lot of four-seamer change to lefties, and that might play into Varsho's favor. A good changeup hitter. He'll shake it off some signs. Now the 3-2. Varsho lifts it into the 500 level foul down the right field line. Almost hit it straight up in the air. It's still 3-2. You don't typically associate this with Varsho, but a long plate appearance. 7 pitches. Here's pitch 8. And it's hit up the middle, off the mound, into center field. Past the slide of Anthony Volpe, a base hit in this second for Dalton Varsho.
Like you said, you don't really see lengthy at-bats like that from Dalton Varsho. But, I mean, maybe he's turning over a new leaf. Maybe he's adapting to the way this Blue Jays lineup approaches a ball game. And that was a fantastic at-bat. Got his pitch. Didn't really try to do too much with it. Used the big part of the field, and he's at first base with nobody out in this inning.
2-0 Blue Jays. No outs, bottom of the second. Varsho leading off first, and Anthony Santander. Heel's pitch. Fouled off the mask of the catcher Austin Wells and went all the way to the backstop. It's 0-1. Third straight year that Anthony Santander appears in the playoffs. He was in it with the Orioles each of the last 2 seasons. But they were bounced without winning a game in each of those years. So he has played 5 playoff games total in his career. 0-1 pitch. Hit back foul. Slider middle in. He was going for it all on that mistake pitch and missed it. It's 0-2.
He's got a couple of very hittable pitches in this at-bat. The first fastball was almost right down the middle, put a pretty good swing on it. And like you said, that slider was middle in. Normally a pitch that he crushes. He just fouled it back.
In those 5 career playoff games, 1 career playoff home run for Santander. The 0-2. Lifted down the right field line. That's hooking foul out of play, and they'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Austin Wells is looking into his own dugout. Now turns his attention back out to his starter, Luis Heel. Heel peeks over his left shoulder at Varsho. Now sets at the belt. And the 0-2. Way outside. A little bit high as well. Changeup slipped out of his hand at 91. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Luis Heel actually looking in at Austin Wells, nodding his head, probably letting Austin Wells know that he knows that that wasn't a great pitch.
Next pitch, hit back foul. It'll head toward Dave Sims, Susan Waldman, and the WFAN booth to our left. Still 1-2. Worth noting, already double barrel action going on in the Yankee bullpen. They have a left-hander and a right-hander up right now. The lefty is Tim Hill for sure. He's the only lefty. We'll get the righty to you in a second. First, the 1-2 pitch to Santander. Ripped on a line foul into the second deck right field side. Still 1-2. In addition to Tim Hill, it's Paul Blackburn, a guy who has started at times in his career and can provide length for this Yankees team. But no outs in the bottom of the second is not when you want to get into your bullpen. Another 1-2 to Santander. Up and in. 7 pitches seen by Santander after Varsho saw 8.
A couple of very big misses, too, in this at-bat.
Kirk hit the first pitch of the inning out of the yard, and since they've been grinding Luis Gil. Next pitch will be his 30th, with no outs so far in the bottom of the second. Santander taps the far corner of the plate. The switch hitters batting from the left side. The 2-2. Fouled right back. It's a pretty good pitch. Slider just inside, and Santander threw the bat at it to stay in this at-bat.
Luis Gil actually was staring in at Santander after he fouled that pitch back, almost to say, come on, man, you kidding me? That's a great pitch, and you're fouling it back?
Now a 9th offering to Santander. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Finally puts him away with 97. But the fans clap in appreciation. A good battle put up there. There's 1 out now in the bottom of the second.
I think that's a good sign for John Schneider. Seems like Anthony Santander is starting to see the baseball just a little bit better since coming off the IL.
Blue Jays up 2-0. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Andres Jimenez is up with Dalton Varsho on first base. Step off, throw to first. Varsho dives back in. Second to George Springer in career playoff games in this starting lineup. Andres Jimenez, 17 in his career across 2 runs with the Cleveland Guardians, including them getting bounced by the Yankees in the ALCS last year. The pitch. Jimenez lifts it very high to medium depth right field. Judge in the sun, shading his eyes with his right hand, makes the catch with his left glove hand and throws it back into Jazz Chisholm. Varsho returns to first, 2 down.
The sun wasn't directly in his eyes, but you could see him struggling just a little bit, although the sunglasses are actually on the top of his hat. You know, that's something that I always notice, Ben, but he was shielding his face with that bare right hand. He comes down for a big second out here in this inning.
Open dome playoff games, not something that happen very often in Toronto. Runner on first, 2 down, pitch to Ernie Clement, swing and a miss. Streaks of sunlight in right field where Judge is, and at first base. I imagine that could be difficult for Ben Rice and Vladdy there with the sun right on the eyes of the first baseman. 2 outs, Varsho on first in the 0-1 to Ernie Clement. Fouled back. Two home runs have put the Blue Jays in front in this game. 9-hitter Clement is up with 2 outs. 2-strike pitch. Down and away, check swing by Ernie. Wells liked the spot of the pitch, pumps his glove out after that slider missed down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's a big hole on the right side of this infield, and with 2 strikes, we've seen Ernie Clement go the other way, or at least try to go the other way a lot this season.
Chisholm, the second baseman, shifted as close to second as you're legally allowed. 1-2. Clement fouls it off behind home plate. A pop-up that got over the netting. Still 1-2. Chisholm now in discussion with Anthony Volpe, pointing, gesturing to Volpe as they talk up the middle. Chisholm, Volpe, and McMahon at third, all on the cut of the turf. 1-2. Clement pokes it in the air right center field. Grisham and Judge conversion. Trent Grisham makes the call on the catch to end the inning. Blue Jays add to their lead. The first pitch at the bottom of the second launched into the second deck by Alejandro Kirk, and it's 2-0 Blue Jays going to the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL 3-topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
Wake me up when we make the playoffs.
Wake up, Canada. We made it. Andy, we know greatness starts with a great rest. That's the beauty of sleep. It fuels focus and sharpens performance. It's how Andy helps all Canadians rise to shine. Andy mattresses are proudly made in Canada. And right now, take $150 off for a limited time. Shop now at Andy.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Bingo! Great games, good friends, and giving back. That's what charitable gaming's all about. At a charitable bingo and gaming center, your gameplay has a real-world impact on thousands of Ontario charities supporting causes such as counseling services, youth sports programs, and healthcare. So come and enjoy a wide variety of games. And remember, when you play, local charities win. See how we play. Visit charitablegaming.ca. Please play responsibly.
Charitable gaming. Community good.
This is Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball.
How do you like that? A 3-run blast!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Canada's team is back in the playoffs, and your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers are proud to be a part of it. For over 40 years, Crown has protected vehicles from rust, keeping them strong and ready for the road, just like a great playoff baseball team. Crown Rust Control, proud sponsor of your Toronto Blue Jays radio broadcast. We appreciate the folks at Crown riding along with us into the 2025 postseason run. It's game one of the American League Division Series, Blue Jays and Yankees. And at the start of the top of the third, the Blue Jays lead the Yankees 2-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue here at Rogers Center. Anthony Volpe will lead off the top of the third against Kevin Gausman. Just waiting on Chris Siegel, the home plate umpire, who's set up now behind home plate. Volpe bounces his bat off the plate twice and rests it on his right shoulder, looking out at Gausman. Blue Jays starter comes still, kicks and deals. And Volpe takes strike one. Yankees shortstop is the number 8 hitter in this lineup. .212 batter this season with 19 home runs. A 1 pitch. Volpe hits it high and deep right center. Varsho going back near the warning track in the shade of the wall on the track. He'll make the catch. And there's one out. Volpe gave that one a good ride, but it just stayed in the yard.
Yeah, Dalton Varsho caught that about 5 feet in front of that tall wall out in right center. But that's a very important out for Kevin Gausman. After your team scores a run, you want to pound that strike zone, especially when you're facing the bottom part of this lineup.
2-0 Blue Jays on solo homers from Guerrero and Kirk. Top of the third, one out. Here's the 9-hitter, Austin Wells. Yankee catcher bats left, and the pitch. Hit on the ground right at Ernie Clement at second. Down on his right knee, he picks it up, throws to first, and very quickly, Kevin Gausman has 2 outs in this inning. Only took him 3 pitches.
Yeah, and he's only at 30 pitches in this ball game. That's important.
This is a huge at-bat right here, though. 2-0 Blue Jays, 2 outs top of the third. Trent Grisham is up. If you can get him, Judge leads off an inning, and that's always best-case scenario because then no one can be on base. First pitch to Grisham, and he pops it up. Third base side foul. Long run, Barger over the chalk on the turf, makes the catch, and in 4 pitches, Gausman retires the side in the top of the third. 2-0 Blue Jays, middle of the third inning. Game 1 of the American League Division Series. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Nest.
What's up, baseball fans, Blue Jays fans? Thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon. Game 1 of the ALDS is here. The Yankees and the Blue Jays, the AL East champion Toronto Blue Jays. Let's get behind them in the chat. Cheer them on. Let's keep it classy. Don't forget to hit the like button down below. And let's have some fun this afternoon cheering on our Toronto Blue Jays as we go for a series victory against the New York Yankees. Come on, game 1 tonight. It starts right now. Let's go, Blue Jays. We'll see you in the chat.
Guru John Hansen knows how. Check out VSiN on SiriusXM Channel 158 and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot. The postseason is here, and we're recapping all the drama and action of October every weekday morning. Who's going to get hot and go on a run? Who will be the postseason hero? And who gets crowned as champion? From the wild card through the World Series, we have you covered. Your home for postseason baseball is the leadoff spot, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
Blue Jays fans have won more than $14 million through 50-50 jackpots this season, and now's your chance to win Jays Care's ALDS jackpot. The take-home prize is already over $404,000, and that number will continue to skyrocket throughout the series. Get your tickets now at bluejays.com/5050 from Ontario or Nova Scotia. 2-0, the Blue Jays lead the Yankees. Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Bottom of the third inning and the top of the order for the Blue Jays. George Springer hitting against Luis Gil for the second time in this game.
Get him on, move him over, and try to score another run here in this inning, make it 3-0.
Solo homers have put the Blue Jays in front, one in the first and one in the second from Guerrero and Kirk respectively. Springer, Lucas, Guerrero this inning. Luis Gil staring in at George Springer, now winds and deals. First pitch hit off the end of the bat, a bouncer foul, first base side, 0-1.
It's almost like that four-seam fastball should be called a cutter.
It cuts a ton.
I think almost every fastball he's thrown so far in this ballgame has cut just a little bit.
That one cutting to the cup of Springer's bat actually broke it, so George will get a new bat. As he puts pine tar on it, we can remind you that in terms of the position player side, there is no one even close, really, with the playoff experience that George Springer has in his career. This is his 8th trip to the postseason in his career. He's played 67 playoff games, the majority of them as a Houston Astro, and he was the 2017 World Series MVP. 0-1 pitch, down and away. Check swing by Springer, 1-1. Coming off a sensational season, 32 homers on the year for Springer. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Out in front there on the slider, 1-2.
That's a great pitch. Austin Wells pointing out at Luis Gil, letting him know.
Still action in that Yankee pen. It started last inning. Tim Hill, the lefty, still up. 1-2. Springer launches one out to center, but it's hanging up. Trent Grisham backtracking, still in front of the track, makes a one-handed grab, and there's one out.
That fastball tied him up just a little bit, got in on the hands of George Springer. Just a lazy fly ball out to center field for the first out of this inning.
An improvement for Gil on last inning when he allowed the homer and then a base hit to start the inning. Second time through, he faces Nathan Lucas, who grounded out to shortstop in the first. Right on left pitch. Outside ball one, or pardon me, low ball one.
Seems like Tim Hill has thrown about 40 pitches down there in that Yankees bullpen.
Side armor, lefty. He is kind of a rubber arm guy. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. It is worth noting on the Yankees playoff roster, Tim Hill is the only left-handed reliever that they have carried. They do have multiple lefty starters, but the Blue Jays have a lot of left-handed hitting, and they are carrying just one lefty reliever. Next pitch to Lucas, fought off a looper to left center, and Bellinger nearly colliding with Chisholm. Bellinger makes the grab as, Grisham, not Chisholm. Grisham pulled out there at the last second. It's really Grisham's ball if he wants it, but Bellinger stepped in and Grisham adjusted. But now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. back up. What a day he has had so far. A solo homer in the first and a diving defensive play in the second. The pitch. Called strike, 97 on the corner. It doesn't get better than that. 0-1.
97 with cut. I know they call that a four-seamer, but that is a cutter.
Neal winds and is 0-1. Fouled away. Another cutter on the corner. Point out by Wells. It's 0-2. Five days off allowed Vlad to make some mechanical changes, said John Schneider before today's game. We saw them in the first. His 0-2. Outside, Vlad takes it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. His heel missed by a lot with a slider.
The way this game is starting on both sides of the ball, this is the best game of his career.
Vlad, I mean, we're 2 innings in.
No, I know, small sample size.
But it's a good start. Bottom of the third, the 1-2 is lined over Jazz Chisholm's head down in right center. Judge will pick it up on a couple of bounces. Vladdy's 2 for 2 with a big clap at first. He turns back to the Blue Jay dugout and twirls his right finger around. He wants them to get the line moving.
How about that 2-strike approach from Vlad? It was a good 4-seam fastball, almost on the black on the outside part, and he's not trying to do too much with that pitch, just trying to go the other way, and he massages that thing into right field for a 2-out knock here.
And he has ended Luis Gil's day in the bottom of the third. Aaron Boone gets aggressive with his pitching. He is going to go to a lefty here to face Addison Barger. It's a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Tim Hill about to come in. 2-0 Blue Jays. Guerrero on first and 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Let's go over to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. We have 4 games on the Major League Baseball scoreboard today. All playoff games, of course, 3 of them outside of Toronto. So let's check in on some of those games. Of course, as Ben mentioned earlier, the Cubs and Brewers playing in Game 1. Pretty much all Milwaukee. Matthew Boyd, a 2025 All-Star. He took the mound for the Cubs today. He was taken out after just 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 6 runs, 2 of them earned after a fielding error, but the Brewers batting around in the first. Jackson Chourio with a pair of hits in that first inning, a double and an RBI single. He had 3 hits overall. He would add another RBI single before being taken out. He was pinch run for after he got aboard after potentially re-aggravating the same hamstring injury that cost him some time during the regular season. But all that being said, the Brewers are currently up 9-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Brewers have 2 outs and nobody on in Milwaukee. In about just over 90 minutes, 6:38 p.m. Eastern, 3:38 p.m. Pacific, we get Dodgers at Phillies. That should be a lot of fun. It'll be Shohei Ohtani starting in L.A. In his first ever playoff start on the mound. Philly will send Christopher Sanchez to the mound on their end. It'll actually be the first ever postseason matchup between 2 batters that both hit 55 or more home runs in the same regular season. Kyle Schwarber hitting 56, Ohtani hitting 55, which is a career high for him, and a single-season franchise record for the Dodgers as well. That'll come your way in a few hours. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get back to the action here at a Rock and Rogers Center with the call. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. The Yankees getting aggressive here. Luis Gil, the starter, taken out of the game in the middle of the 3rd inning. And the lone left-hander in the Yankee pen, Tim Hill, is on to face Addison Barger. It's 2-0 Blue Jays. Runner on first in Guerrero and 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. Hill pitched to a 3.09 ERA in 70 appearances this regular season. It's his 2nd postseason appearance in 2025. He pitched on the 30th against the Red Sox for only 1 out. And a guy who pitched a lot for them in the World Series run last year.
Yeah, and I think this is a great move right here, even though it's early in this ballgame.
Pitch to Addison Barger, called strike. Hill's a soft tosser, sinker, 4-seamer, slider. He averages 88 on the sinker, bottom 10 in sinker velocity in all of Major League Baseball among qualified pitchers. Funky lefty with an 0-1. Swing and a miss by Barger. Hill comes from the side and gets a lot of extra run on that sinker because of his angle.
Lefties this season against Tim Hill are hitting just 181. Righties are hitting 282. So big difference.
Guerrero leading off first. 2-0 Blue Jays. 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. Left on left, the 0-2 to Barger. Chomp back toward the mound. Past Hill. It's a slow bouncer. Charging McMahon. Bare hands. He's got no play. Barger safe at first with an infield single and a stroke of luck for the Blue Jays. Barger will take it. Vladdy up to second. 2 on with 2 outs.
Well, Addison Barger was just trying to make contact with that pitch. All he was trying to do was put the ball in play. Luckily for him, it was just a dribbler, and Anthony Volpe over there at shortstop couldn't even make a throw.
And now Alejandro Kirk comes back up. That left-on-left platoon advantage is done. And you have a guy in Alejandro Kirk who in his last 7 at-bats has homered 4 times and doubled once. Goes back to his final at-bat of game 161 on the 27th.
And again, righties are hitting .282 this season against Tim Hill.
2 outs, Barger on first, Vladdy on second. 2-0 Blue Jays, bottom 3. The pitch. Called strike. Fourth trip to the playoffs for Alejandro Kirk. He drove in 76 runs in the regular season. 0-1. High, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirk with a second deck blast in the 2nd inning. Took a heel fastball out of the yard. 1-1. Line shot foul. A little bit late on that sinker. Maybe sitting slider. He pounds it into the seats right side. 1-2.
That was the one. That fastball was middle. But like you said, probably sitting something else. A little bit late on that fastball.
Perhaps also wanting it to get deep. He's got a lot of that right side of the infield open. They play Rice far off the line at first, but Chisholm at second is up the middle. 1-2 pitch. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kirk strided, but also threw his head back to get it out of the way. Only 1 lefty in the Yankee pen, and he's in already in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 on, 2 out the pitch. On the ground, left side of the infield, McMahon gloves through the screen of Guerrero and throws over to first to end the inning. First scoreless inning for Yankees pitching. 2-0 Blue Jays. They leave 2 on after 2 hits, and we go to the 4th inning in Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
SiriusXM NBA Radio. It's the hardwood to get you ready for the season with previews of all 30 teams.
He get it! Anthony Edwards ties the game at 108.
This is Frank Isola from the starting lineup. Our NBA insiders are talking with the biggest stars in the league and getting you closer to your favorite team.
Here with Anthony Edwards. Every time I get to step on the floor, I feel like it's my first game again.
Listen to the NBA Radio team preview shows every night at 7 Eastern or search for your favorite team on the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM has everything a college football fan needs.
He's in trouble and down he goes. The ball comes out.
All the big games are on the SiriusXM app.
Down the sidelines midfield. It's a race. Picking him up. Putting him down.
Plus, hear daily in-depth analysis on College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
There's not a lot of holes or weaknesses on that football team, and they've got the goods where you want to have the goods for a championship caliber roster.
Our experts get you ready for game day every day on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
The most important person in sports is you, the fan.
Let me tell you something. I'm a real fan.
And your place for sports talk is Mad Dog Sports Radio, where your voice is heard all day long.
I couldn't wait to get into the truck, turn on 82.
Share the thrill of victory.
The joy, the jubilation. I can't stop smiling.
And the agony of defeat.
When is this franchise going to realize people really care about this?
Passionate sports fans call 888-MAD-DOG-6.
You gotta love sports.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, or anytime on the SiriusXM app. Fantasy football players. From start-sit decisions to waiver wire advice. Win your fantasy football league with Fantasy Sports Radio. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
Welcome to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host, Nick Blackmore, our producer, Stephen Coyle, Andrew Adams, and Tom Young, our technical directors. The Blue Jays leading the Yankees 2-0, Game 1 of the ALDS from Rogers Center. Kevin Gausman back on the hill, and 6'7" behemoth of a right fielder, Aaron Judge, will lead it off for the Yankees, the batting title winner in the American League, and a guy with a good shot to win the American League MVP. Also hit 53 home runs while batting .331 this season. Judge, Bellinger, Rice for the Yankees in this inning. Blue Jays have walked Judge intentionally a good handful this year, but because he starts the inning, they'll go after him with no one on base and nobody out. Kevin Gausman set at the belt. And his pitch. Judge hits it back to the mound, under the glove of Gausman, right to Ernie Clement. Second baseman picks it up, throws over to first, and in one pitch, Aaron Judge retired.
That's the hole. Up and in with that fastball, although that's the hole of the majority of hitters on this planet. Executed perfectly by Kevin Gausman, 96 miles an hour, right at the hands. Normally in an 0-0 count, Aaron Judge probably wouldn't even swing at that pitch, but for whatever reason, a quick out.
A lot of quick outs recently for Gausman. His last 4 outs have been on 5 combined pitches. First pitch to Bellinger, taken there low, ball 1. With Aaron Judge, it's worth noting in 61 career playoff games, he's hit .212. This guy who hit .330 this year, he's had a real tough time in the postseason. 1-0 in the dirt. Even as the Yankees made the run to the World Series last year for the first time in Judge's career, it was Stanton who was leading a lot of the offense for New York. Judge hitting for a strong average so far these playoffs, but no extra base hits. 2-0. Outside, ball 3. Kevin Gausman with a borderline splitter there, misses outside to Bellinger. And with 1 out and the bases empty, he's fallen behind Bellinger 3-0.
Gausman was actually pointing, asking where that pitch was. Was it outside? It looked a little bit off the plate.
3-0 pitch. Called strike. Kevin Gausman did say yesterday that Alejandro Kirk's so good at moving pitches, sometimes you don't really know if he fooled you and the pitch wasn't as good as you think it was because he rips it into the zone so subtly. 3-1 pitch. On the ground to first. Might have been double hit by Bellinger. Bellinger barely runs as Vladdy picks it up and jogs to the bag. 2 outs, and I think that came off the bat twice. Something was awkward because Bellinger didn't even try to get down the line.
That's a great pitch from Kevin Gausman. I always say a 2-0 changeup is the best pitch in baseball, but a 3-1 split finger that looks like a changeup is a pretty good option as well. Gets Cody Bellinger way out in front. A little weak ground ball out to first base for the second out of the inning.
Kevin Gausman has faced 1 above the minimum so far. He's allowed 2 hits, but he did get a double play ball of sorts. A diving catch by Vlad to start a double play in the second. Ben Rice is up. 2 outs, bases empty, and the first pitch swung on and missed. Rice looking to launch there. Swung over a low splitter, 0-1. Infield shift to the first base side. The pitch to the left-handed hitting slugger. And Rice takes it on the inside edge. 97 from Gausman. Called strike 0-2.
You can't hit that pitch. Even if Ben Rice swings at that pitch, he cannot do anything with it.
Fans rising again. 2-0 Blue Jays. 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 4th inning. Gausman set. The 0-2. Down and in. Rice jumped back out of the way of a splitter that almost hit his front foot.
Yanked it just a little bit. Tried to make it move. If you try to make that pitch move, that off-speed pitch, generally speaking, you yank it just like he did right there.
Gausman ready to go again. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hands in the air all around Rogers Center as Gausman walks off the hill. 2-0 Blue Jays at the middle of the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama, made precisely for you.
Your business runs 24/7, but what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints that require service? No problem. We also offer preventative maintenance inspections to eliminate the chaos and expense of unplanned emergencies. Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks, trusted for over 60 years. Visit BagleyOverheadDoors.com today.
Okay. First question. When does Desjardins Insurance suggest you switch to winter tires?
Below 7 degrees. Easy.
Nice. Next, what's a smart way to save money on your home insurance?
Switch to Desjardins Insurance and you could save up to $900 when you bundle home and auto. Easy.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball.
The Blue Jays win an 11th in a row at home.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Kevin Gausman dominant through 4 innings, and we go on now to the bottom of the 4th where the Blue Jays lead the Yankees 2-0 in Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Tim Hill getting in his warm-ups right now for the bottom of the 4th, just sailed one to the backstop. He's getting sent to face 2 lefties and a switch hitter. Part of the reason Aaron Boone went to the southpaw so early in this ballgame. If you weren't with us last inning, Luis Gil got taken out after recording 2 outs and allowing a second hit to Vlad in the 3rd inning. So already into their bullpen are the Yankees here in the 4th. Hill will go left on left with Dalton Varsho to begin the inning.
Tim Hill's been very good against lefties for the majority of this season as well. It's a good spot for him to be in this ball game. It's an uncomfortable AB. He lets go of the baseball almost behind left-handed hitters. Really tough to square up.
Hill dumps the rosin back behind the mound. It's actually on the turf just off the hill. And Dalton Varsho steps into the box. The pitch. Varsho takes it inside. Ball 1. A miss there with a sinker at 86. 9th softest sinker on average this year. 11th softest four-seamer on average for Tim Hill, who also has a slider. 1-0. Varsho swings, pops it up, third base side foul, long run McMahon toward the camera well. He hits his stomach on it and watches it go into the seats. If you didn't watch Game 3 of the American League wildcard, Ryan McMahon did a full flip into the Red Sox dugout to make one of the better catches I've seen in a while, especially in a playoff game.
It also didn't seem like many Red Sox players were willing to help him out much either.
No, they were not. McMahon, kind of a dangerous play, went head over heels into the dugout, but came away unscathed. 1-1. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ryan McMahon is playing in, still pretty far off the line as part of the New York defensive shift, but McMahon wary of a Varsho bunt. 2-1. Varsho hits it in the air left field. Can of corn for Bellinger, hit right at him. He moves a couple feet to his right and makes the catch. 1 out.
That sinker was just 87 miles an hour, but again, just such an uncomfortable at-bat. Really funky out there. Dalton Varsho was way out in front. The butt was sticking out, and he hit a little lazy fly ball out to left field.
So with 1 out, the Yankees turn around the switch hitter Anthony Santander. Hit from the left side first time up. He'll bat now as a righty against the southpaw Hill. The pitch. Swing and a deep liner. Left field. That one hooked into the corner. It's a foul ball as called by left field umpire Dan Bellino. Another time that Santander has come oh so close to a big moment, but instead it's a loud strike 1.
Yeah, Anthony Santander was motoring around first base. He thought that ball was fair. He's slowly walking back to home plate right now.
He hit it off the wall, maybe 1.5 feet wide of the yellow line that's underneath the foul pole. I know many will roll their eyes at this, and I understand that. Everything but the results has looked good for Santander. It just has not translated yet. And it is obviously worth noting that he has struck out a good handful since returning to the Blue Jay lineup. He's 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout in the second. 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. But even that strikeout earlier saw 9 pitches against Luis Gil before Gil beat him with 97. 2-0 Blue Jays, 1 out, bottom 4, the pitch. Outside again, ball 2.
I think you're right. I think that he's slowly starting to look relatively comfortable in that batter's box, whether it's a left-handed batter's box or the right-handed batter's box. But it's a results-oriented business, Ben.
Especially in October. 2-1. Inside. Check swing by Santander and a good take there on a four-seamer at 89. 3-1. Tim Hill talking with Chris Siegel. Believe I just read the lips of Hill saying that was a strike. It was close. It could have gone either way. It's 3 balls, 1 strike now with 1 out.
Yeah, it was a good take and a good pitch. I'd probably be yelling at the home plate umpire too if I was Tim Hill.
Hitters count for Santander. 3-1 pitch. Called strike, and that's about 2 baseballs outside. So there's your makeup call, folks. It's 3-2 as Chris Siegel makes what is a very questionable decision behind home plate. The other pitch is borderline. That's nowhere close. 3-2 pitch. Santander hits it in the air to center field. Trent Grisham walking forward, robbed of a walk. Grisham makes the catch, and Santander's retired.
And if you think questioning an umpire's call doesn't work, I think you're wrong, because it plants a seed. It lets the umpire know that you're upset with that call, you're questioning the zone, and he's more likely to make a bad call just like he did there against Anthony Santander.
Works to the benefit of Tim Hill, who has 2 outs now in this bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Blue Jays, no one on base. First pitch to Andres Jimenez, tried to drag bunt and bunted through it 0-1 as he playfully goes back and forth with Jazz Chisholm, the second baseman of the Yankees. More action in the New York Yankees bullpen. Camilo Doval is getting loose as the next pitch goes in. It's a swing and a miss, 0-2. It's quickly here before we get to the end of the 4th on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The Brewers have just finished off an NLDS opening win, 9-3. They beat the Cubs. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 0-2. Jimenez chops one towards second, charging Chisholm. Gloves chest high, underhand flip to first to end a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th. We head on to the 5th with the Blue Jays winning a low-scoring affair so far. 2-0. The Blue Jays lead at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Step inside Ed Sheeran's world.
I didn't just drop a new album play, we built a whole channel around it.
Hear the songs that shaped his life, the global sounds behind play, and exclusive stories he's never told before, all handpicked by Ed.
The songs that shaped me, with a few guilty pleasures.
And now, step even closer with Ed's exclusive SiriusXM concert. Listen anytime on the SiriusXM app. Search Ed Sheeran.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.
The big day for us here. Let's get it done.
On paper, it's easy. Win and advance. With the truth, it's harder than the road they drive on.
Right on his bumper.
12 drivers remain, hoping to match dreams with destiny and claim a cup filled with history. The NASCAR Cup Series playoffs brought to you by Xfinity at the Charlotte Roval. Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on USA.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Enjoy the thrill of victory.
Oh my goodness!
Or revel in the agony of your rival.
I don't know what to say.
With home and away broadcasts of every game on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, no matter where you are, you won't miss a pitch with the SiriusXM app. Hear every game all season long. Download the SiriusXM app and search Blue Jays
Radio Network.
Welcome back to downtown Toronto. It's the 5th inning, brought to you by Capital One. More than 4 million Canadians have a credit card because Capital One said yes. Get yours at CapitalOne.ca/yes. Blue Jays up 2-0 on the New York Yankees. We appreciate you tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Kevin Gausman back out on the hill, an impeccable 4 innings for him to begin this game. He's retired the Yankees 4 times on just 41 pitches. He will face a tough part of the Yankee order, though, in this inning, beginning with Giancarlo Stanton, then Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Ryan McMahon.
It's a big at-bat for him. Have to make your pitches to him, especially with just a 2-run lead here.
Giancarlo Stanton is Major League Baseball's active home run leader. 453 home runs in Stanton's career, including 2 this season off of Kevin Gausman. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball. Right field line, not super deep. Lucas tracking over in plenty of time to make the catch just before the side warning track. And again, quick outs for Gausman. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the top of the 5th.
The game plan against Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge is essentially the same game plan. It's very obvious what they're trying to do. They're just trying to come up and into those big, powerful hitters, and it's worked perfectly so far for them.
You can see the Yankee game plan is to be aggressive. Gausman throws a ton of strikes, but because they haven't translated that into many hits so far, Gausman's gotten out in the 5th on 42 pitches. His pitch to Jazz Chisholm, just low, ball 1. Gausman brings his hands together. Chisholm, a left-handed hitter, staring out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. One of his better splitters so far. He makes it 1-1.
Yeah, it looked exactly like the fastball. He's thrown a couple of good ones so far in this ball game, but a lot of them have just floated through the strike zone. He needs to start getting on top of that thing a little bit more.
The 1-1. Poked on a line out to right field. Long run, Lucas near the side warning track. Dives and he got it! Nathan Lucas with a highlight reel catch, 2 down. Chisholm stunned in between first and second. He thought he had extra bases. Instead, it's a long, lonely walk back to the Yankee dugout.
How many big plays has Nathan Lucas made out there in right field? My goodness, he continues to play a really special right field.
What a huge part of this team Nathan Lucas has become in his first full year in the big leagues. 2 outs, Ryan McMahon up. 2-0 Blue Jays in the pitch. Called strike. By the way, Chisholm is the last Yankee to reach. So now Gausman has gone 9 up, 9 down the last time through the order, starting with the McMahon line-out double play in the 2nd. Here in the 5th, 2 outs in the 0-1. Called strike again, 96 on the edge. Kevin Gausman gets ahead 0-2, and 43,000 get off their seat again. No balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 Blue Jays. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Gausman's pitch. Just outside, 97, about a ball and a half off the plate.
Missed his spot by just a little bit. He looks like he's found it. He's found the release point. He's found those mechanics. That last fastball was 97 miles an hour.
His next pitch. Fouled off the mask of Kirk, who's caught quickly by Chris Siegel, the home plate up. Kirk appears to be all right. And he'll toss a new baseball out to Gausman right now. It's still 1-2.
Missed his spot by quite a bit on that pitch there, but again, it was a good miss. It ended up almost off the plate inside. McMahon just couldn't catch up to that hard 97 inside.
Can get McMahon to chase. He punched out almost 200 times this year. 1-2 pitch. Poked on a line center field. Charging Varsho slides to make the grab. 2 great plays in the Blue Jay outfield. And another 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Gausman, who's retired 10 in a row. 2-0 Blue Jays, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Set your alarm. This is Solomon Wilcox from the opening drive. The NFL kicks off a Week 5 Sunday slate in London. Plus, we'll check in on the remaining undefeated teams.
Touchdown! Josh Allen, the beast, has been released!
And get your reaction a quarter of the way through the season.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do you have a history of those dreadful calcium oxalate stones? Well, Kidney Cop is here to help. Shown in laboratory testing to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. Yes, 99%. Don't wait. Start taking Kidney Cop Calcium Oxalate Protector today. That's Kidney Cop, C-O-P. Kidney Cop. Order today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCop.com. That's Amazon, Walmart, or KidneyCop.com.
California Closets just custom designed Chloe's home office / guest room. Now she has a spacious desk with built-in charging for devices. Sleek wood cabinets conceal a queen-size Murphy bed for guests, and drawers deep enough to hide clean sheets and a printer. Now her spare room is perfect for workdays and weekend visits. California Closets makes space for what belongs. We did it for Chloe, and we can do it for you. Schedule your free design consultation now at 800-CAL-CLOSETS or CaliforniaClosets.com.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
Welcome to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host, Nick Blackmore, our producer, Stephen Coyle, Andrew Adams, and Tom Young, our technical directors. Blue Jays up 2-0, bottom of the fifth of Game 1 of the ALDS. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. New pitcher into the game for the Bronx Bombers. It's Camilo Doval in for the Yankees. Right-hander is on after an inning and a third of effective relief pitching from Tim Hill. Doval will be the third Yankees pitcher into this ball game. And there are no outs right now in the bottom of the fifth.
Tim Hill was really effective in this ball game, but like you talked about earlier, they don't have another lefty in that bullpen. So that's it. You'll just see righties from here on out.
Ernie Clement leads it off against Doval, the former Giant closer acquired by the Yankees at the deadline in a flurry of bullpen moves they made. First pitch, Clement takes a fastball outside at 99 miles an hour, ball one. The pitching change to Doval is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 1-0 pitch. On the ground left side, vacuumed up Ryan McMahon. He sets his feet, throws on to first, 1 out in the bottom of the fifth.
McMahon's really good over there. Just really soft hands. I mean, almost looks like a Matt Chapman when he fields that ground ball. And obviously Matt Chapman, as we all know, was very solid for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ryan McMahon, a really solid defensive third baseman, no doubt. He has helped out the Yankees a ton. Not only has he played well, but Anthony Volpe has played better since McMahon has been acquired by the Yankees. 1 out, George Springer up. Doval kicks and fires. Springer takes a breaking ball down the middle for strike one. That was a slider at 89. Despite the big velocity for the right-hander from the Dominican Republic, Doval leads with that slider. Throws a cutter a lot as well. His 0-1. Inside, almost hit George Springer. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And he does have slight command issues this year with the San Francisco Giants. Walked 24 and 46 and 2/3, and with the Yankees this season, 11 walks in 18 and 2/3 innings.
Bumpy second half with New York for Doval. His 1-1. Low ball 2. Doval pitched 22 times for the Yankees to a 4.82 ERA. But he does have playoff experience. He pitched a couple times with the Giants in 2021. This is his first appearance of the 2025 postseason. His next pitch called a strike. Borderline breaking ball on the inside edge. Springer not too happy with it. nor are the fans. It wasn't a terrible call by Chris Siegel by any means. It's 2-2.
It wasn't a good pitch, though. That was a backup slider.
A bit of luck for Doval. 1 out and is 2-2. Springer rolls over it to short, charging Volpe, gloves, throws over to first to beat Springer, and there are 2 outs with the bases empty in the bottom of the 5th. Let's go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard with the Blue Jays up 2-0 in the 5th. Brewers down the Cubs today, 9-3 to open up one of the 2 NLDS series. The other one is the Dodgers and the Phillies starting at 6:38 Eastern. Shohei Ohtani against Christopher Sanchez. And then at 8:38 Eastern, Detroit and Seattle. Troy Melton against George Kirby. First pitch to Nathan Lucas, misses high from Camilo Doval, ball 1. 2-0 Blue Jays, 2 outs, and the bases empty, bottom of the 5th. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Here's the 1-0. High, 2 balls, and no strikes.
You have to be really selective here if you're Nathan Lucas. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is standing in that on-deck circle, and he's seeing the baseball very well right now.
Vlad has 2 of the 5 Blue Jays hits in the game. 2-0. Lucas hits it on the ground over the mound to the shortstop, Volpe. Gloved off to the left, he throws to first. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Yankees pitching, who have combined to retire 7 Blue Jays in a row. Still 2-0 Blue Jays as we roll on to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Our team knows it takes teamwork and staying power to go the distance, and a hunger to bring it home. That's why Crown Rust Control stands proudly beside them. Because we know what it takes to go the distance for Canadians. We've been helping your vehicles go the distance for over 40 years, keeping them strong, reliable, and ready for the road. Get your vehicle playoff ready. Bring it home to your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Crown Rust Control, proud sponsor of your Toronto Blue Jays. Bring it home, Canada.
At Capital One, we're more than just a credit card company. We're people just like you who believe in the power of yes. Yes to new opportunities. Yes to second chances. Yes to a fresh start. That's why we've helped over 4 million Canadians get access to a credit card. Because at Capital One, we say yes, so you don't.
Hey Blue Jays fans, thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon for Game 1 of the ALDS. Let's get that chant going. Look at those guys right there at Yankee Stadium back in 1993. Gotta love it. Go Jays, go. I miss you, Mom. Let's go Blue Jays. We'll see you back in the chat.
Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball.
Springer coming home, and the Blue Jays take the lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Big applause at Rogers Center for members of the Canadian Armed Forces in attendance as we kick off the 2025 Blue Jays postseason run with Game 1 of the ALDS. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays lead 2-0 on the back of home runs in the first and second from Guerrero and Kirk. Since then, it has been Kevin Gausman's game. He's back out on the mound, only 50 pitches into his start. He begins the 6th inning. Gausman gets 8-9-1. Volpe, Wells, Grisham this inning. And we were talking about the importance of this inning. Chris, if you can retire the Yankees in order, which is a lot to ask given he's retired 10 in a row, then you avoid Judge for another inning. You have to imagine, maybe not in Gausman's mind, but I'm sure Pete Walker and John Schneider are thinking about that in the third base dugout. Volpe to lead it off. He hit a deep fly ball to right center. His first time up. Takes his second at bat here in the 6th. Gausman's pitch. Fastball stings the glove of Kirk for strike 1. That's been a big key to Gausman's day. 39 strikes now in 51 pitches.
And now you can expand. You throw that first pitch strike. Now you elevate or you throw something below that strike zone.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Volpe expands there on a slider. Rare breaking ball from Gausman, and it's 0-2.
Hasn't thrown many of those, but that was a good one.
He gave up the hit to Judge on his slider in the first inning, and like I said, not many since. But it is a pitch that'll break away from an aggressive righty like Volpe. Volpe's 4 for 12 in the playoffs with a homer, but also 5 strikeouts. Gausman's 0-2. Swing and a fly ball left field. Backing up Santander on the warning track at the wall. He leaps. It's off the top of the fence. Volpe into second. It's picked up by Varsho, backing up the Blue Jay left fielder. And Anthony Volpe has a leadoff double. Gausman doubled up on the slider, and it hurt him there. A 2-strike hit for the Yankees shortstop.
Yeah, they were trying to go outside, and that one just floated in the strike zone on the outer third of the plate. Anthony Volpe actually doing a good job getting the barrel to that baseball. Was a little bit out in front. He missed a home run by about 3 or 4 feet, hit the top of that tall wall out there in front of that Blue Jays bullpen.
So runner in scoring position for the Yankees for the first time in this game. Top of the 6th, no outs, 2-0 Blue Jays, and the pitch to Austin Wells is ripped on a line down in right field, a base hit. Volpe had to wait. It's back in quickly from Nathan Lucas. Volpe up to third. Wells stops at first, and the 8 and 9 hitters for the Yankees come up with back-to-back hits to make it first and third, no outs.
Well, obviously that's not what you want. You want to get the bottom part of this Yankees lineup, but Kevin Gausman just hasn't made his pitches so far in this inning. He's left a couple over the heart of the plate. And I mean, that's what the Yankees, that's what this Yankees lineup does. When you make mistakes, they hammer them.
Pete Walker will head out to the pitching mound right now. Blue Jays pitching coach going to go talk to Kevin Gausman. Not something he's had to do much of in this game. Gausman had allowed only 2 hits, both singles, through 5 innings. Now he gives up a double and a single to begin the 6th. The tying run is on first base here with the Blue Jays up 2-0. St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. If you didn't hear earlier, the Brewers down the Cubs today 9-3. A 6-run first, a 3-run second for Milwaukee to take down Chicago in a divisional matchup. Maybe the most anticipated matchup of these playoffs so far. The Dodgers and Phillies will meet at 6:38 Eastern at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. 2-0 Blue Jays, top of the 6th, top of the order for the Yankees. Trent Grisham up with runners on the corners and nobody out. Infield plays back, except for Barger at third, and the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Can't get too fancy here with Trent Grisham. As good as he is, Aaron Judge is on deck. But you can't leave something over the middle to Grisham. He had 34 homers this year. 1-0. In the dirt, skips off of Kirk to the right, but not far enough for anyone to move. 2 balls and no strikes.
Best case scenario, if you're Kevin Gausman in this situation, you throw a good split finger, you get Trent Grisham to roll over, and you get 2 quick outs, and that run from third scores. I think if you're the Blue Jays, if you're Kevin Gausman, you're okay with that.
Volpe on third, Wells on first. Grisham is 0 for 2 in this game. 2-0 pitch. Low ball 3. Gausman went to the splitter there, 2-0, and it was nowhere near the zone. He has not shown Grisham the fastball yet. This is real dangerous. You're a pitch away from loading the bases for Judge with nobody out. Gausman's 3-0. Called strike with a heater. Might have got a break there. It's 3-1.
Alejandro Kirk doing a good job framing that baseball.
Blue Jay pen is up and moving for the first time in the game. Both Fluharty and Varland warming up, a lefty and a righty. 3-1 to Grisham. Popped up foul back behind home plate. 3-2. Blue Jays lead 2-0, have led since the bottom of the first, but the Yankees with their biggest threat of the game. First and third, nobody out. Gausman with a 3-2 pitch to Grisham. Ball 4. Missed well outside with a splitter. And the splitter betrayed him in that matchup. All 4 that he threw were not very close to the zone. The bases are loaded for Aaron Judge with nobody out.
Well, I think this goes without saying. This is the biggest at-bat in this ball game. This is it right here. If you're Kevin Gausman, you better make a good pitch here.
Infield will play about halfway in. Now the middle infielders are moving back. Surprised they went to the splitter there because this was worst case scenario. Bases loaded for Judge, and he knows you have to go after him. Gausman staring at second. Kicks and offers home. Fastball for strike 1. Saved his best pitch of the game. For right now, it was 97 on the corner.
They were trying to come up and in. Missed his spot again by quite a bit, but another good miss from Kevin Gausman.
0-1 to Judge. In the dirt, blocked by Kirk. A run-saving block. It popped up in front of him, and he snatched it with his glove before looking back. Volpe, 1-1.
For the majority of this inning, Kevin Gausman has been yanking that split finger. He's been trying to make it move. Just get that thing out in front and trust it.
Righty's 1-1. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike. He missed with a fastball. He had retired 10 in a row, and now Gausman has allowed 3 base runners in a row. Bases loaded, no outs in the 6th. The 2-1 to Judge. Swing and a miss. Judge in swing mode, expecting a strike, and the splitter had him out in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the few who weren't standing already are up on their feet now. Gausman against Judge with the bases loaded. The 2-2 on the ground to third, foul. Backhanded by Barger. Kind of a break for the Yankees. It was foul. Anthony Volpe, maybe seeing it was going to go wide, didn't move much at all from third. You kind of figure he's just off on contact as soon as he sees that ball get hit into the dirt.
Another big miss from Kevin Gausman, actually. That was a split finger above the strike zone, not where you want that pitch.
Bases loaded, no outs. Another 2-2 from Gausman. Low ball 3. Second batter in a row that will go to a full count. Gausman only threw 50 pitches in the first 5 innings. He's thrown 16 here in the 6th and does not have an out in this frame yet. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away. Good fastball in on the hands at 97.
That's where you want that fastball. You don't want that thing over the heart of the plate or even on the outer third. Aaron Judge is very good at extending those arms and going the other way. If you're going to throw that fastball again, you want it in on the hands just like that last one was.
Blue Jays 2, Yankees nothing. Bases loaded, jam, no outs, top of the 6th. Another payoff pitch to Judge. And he got him. Big strikeout by Gausman and a huge first out in this 6th as Judge walks back to the dugout.
And again, that's what throwing inside to those big, powerful hitters does. We talked about this before earlier on in this ball game. When you throw the fastball in, when you can command that fastball in, it opens up the outside part of the plate. That's exactly what happened right there to Aaron Judge.
Judge chased a yanked splitter down and away. But it looked like it could have been a four-seamer on the corner out of the hand. And Gausman with just his 3rd strikeout of the start. Still a big jam. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch to Cody Bellinger is down and in, ball 1. 2-0 Blue Jays. And by no means is Gausman out of the woods yet. Bellinger 0 for 2 in this game, 3 for 14 in the playoffs so far. 1-0 pitch. Low ball 2, and Gausman, so sharp through the first 5, has really struggled with command this inning. Hitters count for Bellinger, and he knows Gausman has to be in the zone. Bases loaded, the 2-0. Below the knees, ball 3. Went to the splitter, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes.
That was a great take. Missed location again with that split finger, but that was a great take. Looked exactly like a heater.
2 hits and a walk this inning. Gausman with a 3-0 to Bellinger. Low ball 4, and he's walked in a run. Kevin Gausman walks in the first Yankee run of the game. Anthony Volpe in to score. Wells to third, Grisham to second. And you do wonder, John Schneider, how much longer will he watch this? Because the command and just the overall look from Kevin Gausman is way different in this inning than it was in the first 5.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if John Schneider doesn't take him out of the ballgame right here.
He's going to let him face Ben Rice. He's punched out Rice twice in this game. And now Gausman steps off. Fluharty and Varland are up in the Blue Jay bullpen. 2-1, the Blue Jays lead. 1 out and the bases loaded, top of the 6th. Gausman to Rice. Swing and a miss. Infield is playing back, trying to turn 2 here and end the inning. 0-1. Down in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Really yanking that split finger. I would say for the majority of this inning, he's yanked that split finger. Again, you have to get it out front and trust the movement. Don't try to make it move, and that seems like what he's doing out there.
75th pitch of the game upcoming for Gausman. Here it is. And it's popped up. Third base side in fair territory. Barger under it. Infield fly rule in effect, and there are 2 outs as Barger makes the grab anyway. Nice bounce back there for Gausman, but that's the last pitch he'll throw. The dangerous Giancarlo Stanton is coming up with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and John Schneider makes the walk out to the hill. This pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Here's the noise for Kevin Gausman. Blue Jays up 2-1, 2 outs, bases loaded, top of the 6th. Let's go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's continue checking on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. A final for us to get to in Game 1 of the NLDS in Milwaukee. Brewers drawing first blood with a 9-3 win over the Cubs. They scored 6 runs in the first inning, 3 runs in the second. Freddie Peralta with 9 strikeouts in the win. That actually ties a Brewers franchise record. Game 2 will actually be not tomorrow, on Monday night. It'll be 9:08 p.m. Eastern, 6:08 p.m. Pacific. Chicago likely to send Shota Imanaga on normal rest. And when asked about it after the game, about the Milwaukee Game 2 starter, Pat Murphy saying they're declining to name one at this time. Some gamesmanship perhaps between Murphy and former friend Craig Counsell, but seems likely they will decide between Quinquister and Jose Quintana, the other of them likely to pitch in Game 3 with Brandon Woodruff on the shelf. Later on tonight, we'll also get Tigers at Mariners out west in Seattle. The Mariners winning the AL West for the first time in over 2 decades. Seattle sending George Kirby to the mound for first pitch, 8:38 p.m. Eastern, 5:38 p.m. Pacific. The Tigers will send rookie right-hander Troy Melton out there for his first career postseason start. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action with the call here at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. The pitching change for the Blue Jays is to their hardest thrower. Louis Varland is into the game in a massive spot in Game 1 of the ALDS. Yankees with a run in have made it 2-1 Blue Jays in the top of the 6th. Bases are loaded. There are 2 outs, and Louis Varland will face one of this century's great power hitters in Giancarlo Stanton, who's 0 for 2 today, but could very well hit a grand slam on any pitch.
Yeah, and he's hit fastballs at 100 miles an hour before for a home run. So you still have to locate the pitch. You still have to come inside at least once during this at-bat.
Varland has postseason experience. Here's his pitch to Stanton. And it's just outside. A 90-mile-an-hour knuckle curve misses for ball one. Four-seamer curve are the main pitches for Varland, but you'll see a slider change and two-seamer as well. Righty set, the 1-0. Called strike, dropped the curve in there at the knees.
Buckled the knees of Giancarlo Stanton just a little bit.
Stanton again, as we talked about last time, he's so closed off more than anyone else in baseball. So everything in is double in as he fouls off the 1-1, 100 at the top of the zone. It's 1-2.
That was the one right there. That was a great fastball on the hands, up and in. Now it opens up the outside part of the plate. You can pretty much throw whatever you want here.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-1 Blue Jays, top of the sixth. The pitch. And he got him. Swinging strikeout. Louis Varland sets down Giancarlo Stanton. The Yankees create a lot of havoc, but they only get one from 2 hits and 2 walks. Still a 2-1 Blue Jays lead. Middle of the sixth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Want to hear something scary? Spirits are swirling in the SiriusXM app with creepy Halloween treats. Countdown haunted hits on the Freaky 50. Howl at the moon with wicked rock specials.
Spell on you.
And unearth more monstrous fun all month long.
Oh yeah! What a play at the end of the inning by Varland to get that strikeout. That's how you use the bullpen. A great job by Kevin Gausman throwing that gas. He was able to get through that inning with only giving up 1 run. Great. That is huge. That's absolutely huge. Everybody hanging out with us. Cheers to Lisa getting the wave going. I love it. Get that pink wave going. There's Zion. Let's go, Jays. All right, we've got Vladdy, Barger, and Kirk coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is when the bats come alive, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind them. Let's cheer on our Blue Jays. Go, Jays, go. Go, Jays, go. Let's see it in the chat here. I'm going to leave this screen up for a minute. I want to see that chat just flying with Go, Jay, go. Let's go. All right, there's the Burninator in the house. I love it. Leafs game starting in, let's see, almost about an hour and 7 minutes till the Leafs kick off their last preseason game. I love it. There you go. Oh, there's one we don't do that here on the channel. No politics, everybody. Just baseball. We're here for sports, soccer, stuff like that. All right. There we go. Go Jays, go. Go Jays, go. In the chat, the baseball's back. Vladdy's coming up. Let's put some runs on the board and get this over with. Let's go. Cheers, everybody. I don't even have my drink. It's upstairs by the pool because it's such a gorgeous day outside. All right. Be back in a minute. Let's go, Blue Jays.
Chris, like a big break for the Blue Jays to still be leading after the Yankees loaded the bases with Aaron Judge up with nobody out, and only managed 1 run out of that 6th inning.
But when you go back and look at that inning, the Blue Jays made good pitches to Aaron Judge, and they made good pitches to Giancarlo Stanton.
That's what you got to do if you're going to beat the Yankees. You really want to cut into those 2 guys who were a big part of the Yankee second half surge that got them back into a tie with the Blue Jays in record. 2-1. Bottom of the 6th, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up in the pitch. Sailed to the backstop off the top of the mitt of Austin Wells. Actually a little more on Wells than Duvall, to be honest. It's about 2 balls above the zone. It's 1-0.
You have to be really selective here if you're Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Forced Duvall to be back in that strike zone.
Second inning of work for the righty. The 1-0. Called strike. Aaron Boone gambled. He went to his bullpen early. Duvall is the 3rd guy to pitch in this game for the Yankees. Starter Heel, then Hill, now Duvall. 1-1. Inside, Vlad jumped back out of the way, 2-1. Part of that gamble for the Yankees is likely because Max Fried goes tomorrow, but they are eating into a large part of their pen right now, and the Yankees carrying only 12 pitchers to the Blue Jays 13. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Good cut fastball, 96 miles an hour. Got the whiff from Vlad, 2-2.
That's a great pitch. I think Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was having a quick conversation with home plate umpire Chris Siegel, asking him if that pitch was outside. That was on the plate.
And you can see why Camilo Doval led the National League in saves in 2023. He's also been in the minors since then, though. He's a very volatile pitcher who at his best can be unhittable. His 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball left field, but he got under it. It's playable for Bellinger, who shuffles to his right, makes the catch, moving a step in. And there's one out as Vlad is retired for the first time in this game.
Doval got away with one there. It was a little spinning slider on the inner third. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got tied up just a little bit. Wasn't able to get those arms extended.
With Vlad back in the Blue Jays dugout, it's time for a power-on-power matchup in the bottom of the sixth. Addison Barger hits for the Blue Jays with one out. Doval kicks and deals. Barger hits the ball in the air, left center. Bellinger turning back, angling toward the warning track, pulls up still on the turf, makes the catch. A near miss by Barger on another mistake from Doval. Cutter over the middle, and there are two outs.
It was another mistake, but I tell you what, Doval has great stuff. That was a cutter at 98 miles an hour. Really tough to square up. I think it got in on the hands just a little bit of Addison Barger.
Mistakes at 98 are slightly different than mistakes at 88. And Doval working well so far. Has two outs here in this inning, 5 outs in this appearance, with Luke Weaver warming up in right for New York. Doval's pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Up and in, ball one. Missed there with a slider at 89. So Kirk had enough time to get out of the way, and Kirk kicks it over toward the Blue Jay third base dugout as they get Doval a new baseball. And that slipped, almost had arm side run on that slider.
Yeah, crowd didn't like that pitch. Obviously no intent. If you're going to hit somebody, you better hit them with a fastball, not a slider.
And you're not going to do it in this big of a spot. Bottom of the sixth, 2-1 Blue Jays, the 1-0. Kirk hits it foul. Big hack there at a 98-mile-an-hour cutter, top of the zone. After the Yankees scored that run in the top half of this inning, Kirk's homer back in the second is now the difference in the game. It's 2-1 Blue Jays. Kirk hit a homer in the second after Vladdy homered in the first. The 1-1. Kirk hits it back foul. Spinning slider landed on the inside corner, 1-2.
I think he got away with another one there. He's thrown a few of those in this inning. Just those spinning backup sliders on the inner third. Alejandro Kirk ripped that front shoulder through, kind of pulled off on that pitch and just hit it foul.
The 1-2. Hit on a line, caught at first. Ben Rice stabbing it as he went down to a knee. Nice play by the Yankee first baseman to end the sixth inning. Blue Jays lead it 2-1 as we head to the seventh. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Your business runs 24/7, but what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints?
All right, that was a quick inning there. No, ATK Polo 6K. Calm yourself, okay? Luis Gil is not injured. At least he didn't seem to be. It was a great call by Aaron Boone, as I discussed in the chat. There, I'm SOP Mike. What's up? Yes, he did not get hurt. It was a great call by Aaron Boone to pull him when he was starting to get touched there by the Blue Jays bats. Brought in the left-handed pitcher, sidearm pitcher. I forget his name. He did really well and got out of it. So there you go. That's why Luis Gil is out of the game. Now Jazz Chisholm, McMahon, and Volpe up for the Yankees here in the end of the sixth inning. 9 outs to go. In this one, 2-1, I don't think it's going to get it done. It's going to be a lot. I think we're going to see some more runs here at the end of this one. So let's see what your predictions are. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Welcome to everybody that's new. Don't subscribe. Don't subscribe, okay? It's all good. Just hit the like button. Glad you're here. Mess my ticket up. Yeah, that happens. You know what? It happens. Understand. There you go. Go Jays, go Leafs. Lisa Yellow, I love it. Very cool. Go Jays, go Leafs. We're going to put that out in the chat right now and get back to the baseball. Here it comes. 7th inning. Let's go Blue Jays. Let's finish this strong. Let's get the start. Let's get the victory in Game 1 tonight. We need it. Let's go. All right, here we go.
Lead the Yankees 2-1. Louis Varland back out after an electrifying strikeout of Giancarlo Stanton to end the top of the 6th. Varland threw a pitch at 101 miles an hour for Sportsnet's Nick Ashbourne, the second hardest thrown pitch of his career. And now he looks to recapture that fire as he comes back out to face Jazz Chisholm in the 7th.
Have to throw strikes here if you're Louis Varland. We saw Kevin Gausman lose the command of the strike zone just a little bit in the last inning. He got himself into some trouble, and the New York Yankees were able to scratch together at least one run. And if you're Louis Varland, you trust the stuff, and you just pound that strike zone.
His pitch to Chisholm, called strike, a curveball on the outside corner to get ahead 0-1. Louis Varland pitching in the postseason for the 3rd time in his career. Previous 2 were against the Blue Jays as a Minnesota Twin in 2023. 0-1. Just below the knees, a 94-mile-an-hour slider. They say curve on the board, but that would be one of the hardest thrown curves he's ever unleashed. It's 1-1. Chisholm's had a nice day at the plate. 1 for 2. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 95 on the outside edge. A ball and 2 strikes as he got him out in front of 95 on a changeup.
How are you out in front of 95? That's my question.
Geared up for 100.
Yeah.
1-2. Lifted foul left side into the seats, out of play.
Alejandro Kirk wanted that curveball down below the strike zone. Probably wanted that in the dirt. It was a little bit of a hanger. Caught a little bit too much of the strike zone. I think Louis Varland might have got away with one there.
One swing could tie it up for the Yankees. The 1-2. High and outside at 100. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With a team like the Yankees, a 1-run lead is very, very tense for all the Blue Jay fans. 2-2 pitch. On the ground up the middle. Long run, Andres Jimenez. Gloves. Throws over to first. What a play up the middle. There's 1 out.
It seems like Louis Varland is pretty comfortable with that changeup now. We didn't see it a lot when he first came over from the Minnesota Twins, but he just threw a lot. I think he threw 3 of them to Jazz Chisholm there. And it's almost like they had split finger action, a lot of downward movement. And you saw some uncomfortable swings from Jazz Chisholm in that at-bat.
A pitch he threw more in previous years as a starter. He's reincorporating it and the slider more recently. Pitch to Ryan McMahon, hit off the fist foul. 100 on the inside black, 0-1. Blue Jays bullpen very active again. Of course, they will do anything they can to try and lock up a win in this game. Both Mason Fluharty and Sir Anthony Dominguez are up. It's Fluharty's 2nd time. 0-1. Hit foul again by McMahon, and Varland is ahead 0-2.
Do not mess around here. Do not give McMahon anything that he can hit. A fastball above the strike zone or maybe a curveball below the strike zone, but nothing over the heart of the plate here.
McMahon has lined it twice, but he's 0 for 2 on a diving and sliding catch. 0-2. High and outside. He threw the fastball up at 99, but it was a ball out of the hand. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was probably an easy take for McMahon.
For McMahon, this regular season, 189 strikeouts. 1-2. Down and away with a fastball. Pardon me, a change there. Pretty good pitch, even better take. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a tough take.
McMahon leaned out over the plate.
Man, that is a great weapon that Louis Varland has now.
With 1 out, the 2-2. Bounce back foul. Credit to Ryan McMahon here, really battling. Just fouled off another change on the outside edge. Two-1 Blue Jays, the 2-2. Hit on a line in through the right side of the infield. A base hit for Ryan McMahon. He comes around first and then backpedals back to the base. On with one out.
Let him off the hook there. That was a hanging breaking ball on the inner third. Here comes John Schneider. I think that's the end of the day for Louis Varland.
Tying run is on base, and the go-ahead run coming up to the plate in the form of Anthony Volpe. So it's time for a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Sir Anthony Dominguez making his way down the dugout steps. Fans with a round of applause for Louis Varland, who got a huge out in the sixth, striking out Stanton. Varland allows a one-out hit. Tying run on first in this top of the seventh. Let's go back to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, Ben. Let's continue checking out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. In about 30 minutes time, just a little over 30 minutes, we'll get Dodgers at Phillies. Shohei Ohtani versus Christopher Sanchez in Game 1 of the other half of the NLDS, of course, going in Philly. You can watch that game, as always, on Sportsnet. Later tonight, as we mentioned earlier, Tigers-Mariners will be out west in Seattle. First pitch of that game will be in just a little over 2.5 hours, 8:38 p.m. Eastern, 5:38 p.m. Pacific. It'll be George Kirby versus Troy Melton for the Mariners and Tigers, respectively. The NHL season starts in just a few days. The Panthers will raise their Stanley Cup banner on Tuesday. The Canadian teams will get going on Wednesday. Lots of extension news in the last week with the season right around the corner. We already heard Kirill Kaprizov getting the biggest extension in NHL history from the Wild. Luke Hughes getting a big-time extension as well from the Devils. We also heard the Wild extending goaltender Philip Gustafson earlier today, a 5-year deal worth $34 million, AAV of $6.8 million, and some coaches getting extended in the last few days as well. Calgary extending Ryan Huska for 2 more years, and elsewhere in Alberta, Chris Knobloch signing a 3-year extension with the Oilers. Of course, Knobloch guiding Edmonton to consecutive Stanley Cup finals. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action here at the Rogers Center. Sir Anthony Dominguez on the mound in relief for the Blue Jays. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. First appearance of the postseason for Sir Anthony Dominguez. The Blue Jays lead it 2-1 as he comes in with one out in the top of the seventh. Anthony Volpe is the tying run on first base. Or pardon me, Ryan McMahon's the tying run on first. Anthony Volpe about to hit for the Yankees. Sir Anthony Dominguez, a high-velocity four-seamer, sits around 98, has a sweeper, splitter, sinker, and curve as well. It's his 18th time pitching in the postseason, most of them with the Phillies. Briefly pitched in the postseason for the Orioles as well. A career 1.02 postseason ERA. His pitch, called strike, 96 on the outside edge to Volpe, 0-1. And where Dominguez really shined was in 2022 when the Phillies made that run to the World Series. He had his hands all over that run. His 0-1. Volpe takes outside.
Most impressive thing about those postseason numbers, he has 27 strikeouts in 17 2/3 innings.
So only 4 walks in his postseason career. Although he is coming off his most volatile strikeout and walk season. 1-1. High, check swing by Volpe, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. While Dominguez posted the second best strikeouts per 9 number in his career at over 11. He also ended up walking his most per 9. And here's an oddity, a pinch runner after the count gets to 2-1 for the Yankees. It was almost like they meant to do it and forgot. But Jose Caballero is on now. Major League Baseball's, or the American League's stolen base leader, runs in the spot of Ryan McMahon. Caballero, a Ray and a Yankee this year, leads off first. 1 out, a 2-1 count. And the pitch to Volpe. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Caballero had 49 stolen bases this season. Obviously, he's a threat to run, especially with 1 out in this inning and 2 strikes.
He is the tying run, Jose Caballero, leading off first base with 1 out. 2-2. Cold strike 3. 98 on the corner. Volpe frozen like a statue, 2 down.
Does not get any better than that. What a pitch in such a big moment for Sir Anthony Dominguez, right on the black.
It really does not get much better than that pitch. Blue Jays looking for one more big pitch out of Dominguez. Wells is up, Austin Wells, and a step-off throw to first, dive back in by Caballero, who I should correct did lead all of baseball, not just the American League. His 49 stolen bases led the majors, and last year he led the American League with 44. He's one of the best stolen base guys in baseball.
And it definitely looked like he was about to take off on that previous pitch.
Pitch to Wells, swing and a miss. Good splitter, and Dominguez worked a little quickly there, probably jumped Caballero before he could get a good lead off first.
You don't want to pay too much attention to Caballero that it affects the command of your pitches.
2-1 Blue Jays. And the pitch, Caballero's off, and it's hit on the ground to far off to the 7th inning stretch. Blue Jays 2, Yankees 1. 40,000 hearts racing in downtown Toronto. We take a quick step aside. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Your business runs 24/7. But what happens when your loading dock grinds to a halt? Get back in business fast with Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks. Your overhead door problem is our problem, and we're good at fixing problems. Repairing your overhead door, dock, or have truck restraints that require service? No problem. We also offer preventative maintenance inspections to eliminate the chaos and expense of unplanned emergencies. Bagley Overhead Doors and Docks, trusted for over 60 years. Visit BagleyOverheadDoors.com today.
How do we craft tires specifically designed for Canadian weather conditions? We journey alongside them and endure the unexpected challenges the road throws at them. Winter is approaching quickly. Are you prepared? Choose Yokohama. Tailored precisely for Canadian weather, snow, ice, and cold can turn every drive into a challenge. Stay safe with the Yokohama Fall Rebate. Until November 30th, receive up to $100 back when you purchase 4 eligible Yokohama tires. Stay in control and drive with confidence. Choose Yokohama, made precisely for you.
Bingo!
Celebrate a win for your community at a charitable bingo and gaming center. Each game you play has a real-world impact on thousands of Ontario charities facing challenges such as food insecurity, educational needs, and rehabilitation. So come choose from a wide variety of entertainment options. And remember, when you play, local charities win. See how we play. Visit charitablegaming.ca. Please play responsibly.
Charitable Gaming. Community good.
This is Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball.
Bernie Clement with a go-ahead shot on the first pitch of the night.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. We continue on at an excited Rogers Center into the bottom of the 7th. Game 1 of the American League Division Series, the Blue Jays narrowly leading the whole way through. They're up 2-1 right now, and a new pitcher is in for New York. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian, Luke Weaver is in for Aaron Boone's club. Weaver is the 4th Yankees pitcher to appear in this game. In the regular season, a 3.62 ERA for Luke Weaver. He does not have an ERA in the playoffs yet, despite appearing. He gave up 2 runs in the Yankees' wildcard loss to Boston and did not record an out. So, in some ways, an infinite ERA right now in the postseason. He'll work with a new third baseman behind him. Jose Caballero remains in for Ryan McMahon. Weaver to Dalton Varsho, and the first pitch up and in, ball 1. When the Yankees made their run to the World Series last year, Weaver was their best reliever, but he's had an up-and-down 2025. His 1-0. High ball 2. Right-hander started the year incredibly impressively, but went down with a left hamstring strain, and since being activated on June 20th, has an ERA over 5. His 2-0. Inside ball 3, and not the way that Aaron Boone and Matt Blake, the Yankee pitching coach, would want Weaver to start this outing.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Dalton Varsho is taking all the way here, especially with Santander in the on-deck circle.
Weaver's 3-0. Varsho swings and hits it back foul. Got a four-seamer middle in and fouled it back. 3-1.
I don't mind that. You're up by 1 run. You're looking for one more run late in this ball game. You're expecting Weaver to throw something over the heart of the plate. He actually got his fastball and he just missed it.
Right on left. Weaver's pitch. High ball 4. Varsho takes a 5-pitch walk. And he's on for the second time in this game. 1 for 2 with a walk now is Dalton Varsho.
And I know that if you're Anthony Santander, you want to come up with the big knock here, but your goal is to just get Dalton Varsho to second base with less than 2 outs. That's all you should be concerned with.
Mark Budzinski with a long talk behind Dalton Varsho's back, whispering in his right ear. Varsho takes the lead, and the pitch to Santander is outside. Ball 1. The Yankees have made it tough on Santander today. They turn him back around again. The switch hitter will now hit left. He hit left the first time, right the second time, and left again here the third time. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 97 at the top of the zone from Luke Weaver.
It's really important that the Blue Jays score a run in this inning, especially with the top of the Yankees lineup coming up next inning.
2-1 for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 7th, game 1 of the American League Division Series. 1-1. Hit on a line. Down in right center, a base hit. Varsho sprints around second. Here's the throw from right by Judge. It bounces in way late. Dalton Varsho on third. And Santander has his first hit of the postseason.
Normally, Dalton Varsho, or anybody for that matter, wouldn't take third base on a base hit like that to Aaron Judge, but Aaron Judge's arm is noticeably worse now, and that actually wasn't a bad throw. On any other day, Dalton Varsho was thrown out by Aaron Judge there, but not today. The arm isn't what it was last year and in years past. That is fantastic base running from Dalton Varsho.
Like Varsho, Judge dealing with a shoulder injury that he suffered in Toronto earlier in the year and has not thrown very well since. Now Santander lifted from the game. After coming up with a hit, his day ends 1 for 3. Miles Straw is in to run and, most importantly, to defend in the 8th inning in the left field spot where Santander started. When they only had the runner on first and nobody out, you had mentioned the Blue Jays really need to score. Now they got runners on the corners, nobody out. And you feel like they have to come up with something here. Luke Weaver is tough, but this is too sweet of an opportunity for the Blue Jays right now. Austin Wells out in front of home plate for a really long time, giving signals to the defense. And now because Jazz Chisholm's pitch clock isn't working, or pardon me, pitch comm isn't working, we're continuing to delay the pitch clock.
Well, I can only imagine it's nearly impossible to hear that pitch comm right now. This crowd is going bonkers with runners at first and third and nobody out in this inning.
I don't know this for sure, but given now we're listening to every pitch comm on the mound that's in anyone's hat, I think maybe we're, if you're Austin Wells, smartly you might be buying Luke Weaver a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Like on a football drive when a defensive lineman magically gets hurt on his own 25-yard line. Because they started pointing at Chisholm. Now Weaver's pitch comm is acting up. And as all this is happening, Fernando Cruz is up and throwing in right field for the Yankees. This is Weaver's third batter faced. They can take him out after Jimenez hits. Chris Siegel will not take a mound visit from the Yankees. Whatever was going on with their technology has been resolved. And with runners on the corners and nobody out, Andres Jimenez is stepping up for the Blue Jays.
And the Yankees will bring the infield in. Jazz Chisholm is slowly walking to that grass, and Anthony Volpe is kind of in between just a little bit.
Caballero way in at third base, almost like he thinks there might be a bunt. It's Varsho on third and Straw on first. No outs. Weaver to Jimenez. First pitch hit back foul. 0-1.
I think Aaron Boone actually changed his mind at the last minute. Both Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe were back. They were willing to concede that run for whatever reason. That's not what I would have done. And then it looked like Aaron Boone changed his mind at the last second and told everybody to come in.
The 0-1 to Jimenez. Hit on the ground, right side, and through into right field. Marshall in to score. Straw up to second. Big hit by Andres Jimenez. It's 3-1 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th.
When it's not Vladimir Guerrero Jr., when it's not Bo Bichette, when it's not George Springer, it's somebody else. And right here, Andres Jimenez, the bottom part of this Blue Jays order, number 8 in this lineup, comes through with maybe the biggest hit of the season.
The house of horrors for Luke Weaver continues. He has been terrorized at this ballpark this year. He comes in, allows all 3 batters he faces to reach, and the Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead with 2 on and nobody out as Aaron Boone makes a pitching change. It's brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Fernando Cruz entering, and with that, we go to today's host. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Let's continue checking on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Another reminder that in about 15 minutes or so on Sportsnet, you'll be able to watch Dodgers at Phillies Game 1. A little bit later on tonight, Tigers at Mariners. We do have some news ahead of the rest of Week 5 in the NFL. Of course, Week 5 starting with a 26-23 overtime win for the 49ers on Thursday over the Rams. Mac Jones with a pair of touchdown throws in the absence of Brock Purdy. Some injury news, though, ahead of tomorrow's games. No Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. He is out with a hamstring injury as the Ravens take on the Texans. It'll be Cooper Rush at quarterback this weekend for Baltimore. Raiders tight end Brock Bowers trending towards not playing against the Colts, still dealing with a knee injury. Titans running back Tajay Spears has also been activated off injured reserve as Tennessee takes on Arizona. The Cardinals themselves will be without Trey Benson. He is now on injured reserve himself. So running backs Amari DiMarcado and Michael Carter will handle the bulk of the carries tomorrow against the Titans. And some news out of Cleveland as well. Quarterback Joe Flacco is getting benched. Rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel will start tomorrow against the Vikings in London. And don't forget, tomorrow's game between Minnesota and Cleveland is an early start, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, again in London, England. Blue Jays baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action here at the Rogers Center. With the call, here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. The Blue Jays, with a run in this bottom of the 7th, have extended their lead to 3-1 over the New York Yankees. Fernando Cruz, the 35-year-old Puerto Rican right-hander, is into the ball game. First and second for the Blue Jays. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Ernie Clement to hit the 9-hitter for Toronto. It's Miles Strauss, the lead runner. Andres Jimenez on first, so a lot of speed on both bases for the Blue Jays.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ernie Clement tries to sacrifice bunt here. Ben Rice, the first baseman, is way in. So that tells me that the Yankees are expecting the same thing here.
7 sacrifice bunts this year for Ernie Clement. Caballero's not very far in at third, but Rice is way in at first. And the inside move by Cruz. I think he wanted to see, would Clement square early? And I don't know if Ernie really ever took that set seriously. So he might still bunt. He didn't square there.
With a runner on second, the job of the hitter is to get that ball to the left side of the infield.
He squares, and the first pitch is bunted to the left side. Cruz picks it up, spins, throws to third for the out. Throw across to first is late. Ernie Clement is in there, but it'll be a fielder's choice. Unsuccessful sacrifice as Fernando Cruz bounced off the hill to make a nice play.
That was a great play from Cruz out there, making a perfect throw to third base. They almost got the double play at first base. I actually don't think Ernie Clement was running hard down the line, but luckily for the Blue Jays, they still have runners at first and second with just one out in this inning.
If it's Ryan McMahon, it might have been a bit more dangerous. He probably has a better arm than Jose Caballero. But the Blue Jays avoid disaster there, still threatening. First and second, one out, up 3-1. George Springer at the plate. Cruz with a kick in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Awkward swing from Springer on the bread and butter pitch by Cruz. He's got a nasty splitter.
He's got a ton of downward movement. And again, the most important thing with those pitches, whether it's the changeup or the split finger, is the arm speed. His arm speed looks exactly like the fastball. It's really tough to pick up.
9 consecutive scoreless outings for Fernando Cruz, including the postseason. 0-1 in the dirt. Throws the splitter about 60% of the time, does Cruz, and then he'll mix in a four-seamer, sinker, and slider. Rogers center trying to phase the 35-year-old. First and second, one out. Cruz with a 1-1 to George Springer. In the dirt, ball two. The 36-year-old Springer wise to the splitter there. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I think that pitch might have been a ball out of the hand, so it might have been an easier take from George Springer. But he's found himself in a pretty good count here.
Still a lot of speed on the bases for the Blue Jays. Jimenez on second, Clement on first. Fernando Cruz offers. Springer fouls it back into the stomach of Wells, who falls down to the seat of his pants and is still sitting on the dirt right now. One leg crossed over the other, taking his time. He stretches out, reaching toward his toes, and I think Chris Siegel's going to give him an extra second.
I'm surprised the Yankees haven't sent somebody out there to look at him. Obviously, he's in some discomfort. Spent a lot of time sitting on that dirt.
Might have been sending a message there. They're not taking Wells out of this ballgame. And Wells now looking into the dugout to get instructions from his team before Fernando Cruz gets set for the 2-2. Jimenez with a lead on second. Clement, big lead off first. 2-2 to Springer. Down and away. Check swing by George. Full count. Springer asks for time. Nathan Lucas due up next, but right now George Springer looking to blow open this game. 2 on, 1 out. 3-1 Blue Jays. And the 3-2 pitch from Fernando Cruz. Long look in the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Made him wait and then skipped it in front of home plate. Bases are loaded for the Blue Jays with 1 out.
Fernando Cruz waited so long to throw that pitch. He might have made himself feel uncomfortable. That was a strange one. Normally you see a guy hold the baseball really long and then step off. You don't want to hold it as long as Fernando Cruz did and then throw a huge pitch to a guy like George Springer. That was a strange one for me.
He set pretty much right at the start of the pitch clock and then didn't deal until the last second. And now the bases are loaded with only 1 out. Corners in, middle back, Nathan Lucas up. Right on left the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Cruz starting to spray a little bit. That four-seamer missed by about half a foot outside. Only out recorded by Yankees pitching in this inning was on the bunt. 1-0. Down and in, ball 2. It was close, but he missed the spot, and he's not really in the favor of Chris Siegel, given that Cruz has been scattering all over. 2-0.
Every once in a while, Fernando Cruz will scatter some baseballs and lose the zone. He did have 24 walks this season in just 48 innings pitched.
2-0 to Lucas. Upstairs, ball 3.
You're taking all the way here if you're Nathan Lucas. Don't mess around.
Jimenez on third, Clement on second, Springer on first. The corners are playing in, the middle infield back in case of an inning-ending double play ball. Cruz with a 3-0. Called strike. Bottom of the zone with a fastball. Had all sorts of the strike zone. It's 3-1.
Might have been a good pitch to hit.
But he knew, I think everyone in the
way
building knew Nathan Lucas wasn't swinging there. Now, a real tough pitch for Cruz. His 3-1 to Lucas. Driven to right field, hooking toward the corner. That ball's down for a base hit, bouncing into the wall. Jimenez scores, Clement scores. Stop sign for Springer. Lucas in a second, a 2-run double makes it 5-1 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th. Nathan Lucas does it again, and his dream season continues into October.
Nathan Lucas might have swung at ball 4, but he'll take it. He hammered that elevated pitch. It was a fastball from Fernando Cruz. Might have been above the strike zone, but he ripped that thing one hopper off the wall. Aaron Judge fields it and gets it into the infield quickly, keeping George Springer at third base. But I mean, who else but Nathan Lucas?
Unbelievable for Lucas. And they're chanting his name at Rogers Center, a guy who seldom played in the big leagues over a several-year-long pro career. Gets a shot to make the team this year. All of a sudden, he's your Game 1 ALDS starter in right field, your number 2 hitter. And outside of the early home runs, has come up with your biggest at-bat of the game. We might look back and say that's the biggest swing any Blue Jay took all game. Still more big swings potentially coming. 5-1 Blue Jays, second and third for Toronto with 1 out, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up after a Matt Blake mound visit. Fernando Cruz is set. And the pitch. Low ball 1. And now they chant for Vladdy, who's had a huge day. A home run, a single. He's 2 for 3. He also has one of the best defensive plays so far in this game. All 4 infielders are in near the turf. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. And you start to wonder here if they just put him on. Or at least pitch around him.
It's tough to put Vlad on and bring a lefty to the plate, so you have the right-on-left matchup. And I mean, honestly, I'm just throwing an off-speed pitch here, maybe a split finger, and hopefully he rolls over one.
Cruz with a 2-0. Low went with a fastball and missed near the ankles. His fastball has been all over the place in this inning. It's 3-0 as the Yankees pen continues to work. Paul Blackburn is up again for New York.
Cruz, it seems like Cruz does not have a feel for really any of his pitches here in this outing.
Springer on third, Lucas on second. 1 out in the 3-0. Hit in the air, center field, hanging up for Grisham. He calls for it in right center. Springer tagging. Grisham makes the catch. The throw will go into third. Springer crosses home plate as Lucas slides into third. Sac fly for Guerrero. It's 6-1 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th.
I take that all day long. And Vladimir Guerrero was actually fist pumping, running down to first base. He knows that every single run matters in this ball game. That's a huge run. And the Blue Jays are now up 6-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Aaron Boone is walking out to that mound.
Real pragmatic from Guerrero. 3-0 count. He could try and do something big, but he had a pitch that he could hit in the air, and he did it to drive in another run. His second RBI, and he'll knock out Fernando Cruz. This pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 4-run 7th has made it 6-1 Blue Jays. Runner on third, 2 outs. We go back to our host today. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks very much, Ben. Let's continue checking on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard. Again, if you're just joining us right now, I hope you've been with us all afternoon. But a Brewers 9-3 win in Game 1 of one half of the NLDS. Game 2 of that series will go on Monday night, not tomorrow night. The other Game 1 in the NLDS will go in about 5 minutes. Shohei Ohtani and Christopher Sanchez, the pitching matchup for the Dodgers and Phillies, respectively. And then a little later on tonight, we'll get Tigers at Mariners out west in Seattle. Of course, the Mariners winning their division for the first time in just over 2 decades. First pitch of that game will go in Seattle at 8:38 p.m. Eastern, 5:38 p.m. Pacific. Again, all of these games will be on Sportsnet. Pretty busy sports day, all things considered. We spoke about all 4 divisional series getting going today. We will also have UFC 320 later tonight in Vegas, so the main card will not get going likely until closer to midnight, so you do have some time to get set after a...
I love it. The chat is fired up. Rick Smith's in the house. Lisa Hello. I did call 6-4. I love it. Thank you, Lisa. Slow burner. Good to see ya. Luke Charles on a plane to Toronto with just play-by-play, but exciting nonetheless. Glad we're here for you. Luke Charles on the plane on his way to Toronto. 6-1 works too. What's up, Stefan? What's up, my man? Good to see you, dude. Cheers, Rick. Cheers, Steph. Leafs game getting underway in just a few minutes. Let's go. Blue Jays, let's add a little bit more. Here, Barger, let's see what we got on Blackburn. Let's go. Go Jays, go. Great start to this series, Blue Jays. Vladdy hitting well. Oh, well, there you go. Before we even get back to the radio, you're going to see that Barger flied out. But we'll take it back to the radio for that. We'll be back in a minute. Go, Jays, go.
On a failed sacrifice attempt to bunt and then a sacked fly. The Blue Jays have pretty much been productive with all 7 hitters. The 8th hitter in this inning is Addison Barger. Right on left the pitch. Blackburn with a strike. 90 with a cutter on the corner. 0-1. 31-year-old Blackburn began this season with the Mets, finishes it with the Yankees. His 0-1. Hit by Barger. High and deep right field. Judge going back, has room. Makes the catch just in front of the warning track to end the 7th. Blue Jays score 4 in the inning on 3 hits, none bigger than the 2-run double from Nathan Lucas. 6-1 Blue Jays headed to the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown.
All right, so there was Barger flied out. Oh, these bots are insane here, aren't they? Oh, my goodness. We got to just hide these on the channel. Thank you, Lisa. Much appreciated. There you go. Burn says 6 more outs. We got this. Jay's got this today. What a performance so far. Vladdy got us started right in the beginning of the game, followed up by Alejandro Kirk. Great pitching from Kevin Gausman. This has been a great start to the day. Through 7 innings now, only 2 to go. All right, let's go, Blue Jays. Let's get the chant going in the chat. Let's get behind them. Go, Jays, go. Go, Jays, go. Go, Jays, go. And then get ready for the Go Leafs, go. Go, Leafs, go. Because that's starting in just a few minutes. How many? 22 minutes away from the Leafs and the Red Wings closing out the preseason. Love it. I'll burn. Boo, Leafs. Go, Leafs, go. Love it, Burn. All right, back to the Jays game. Let's finish this thing off.
John Schneider joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Goes the distance. They're your MVP. Ontario's number.
Hey, big shout out to CK as well. What's up, CK? Go, Jays, go. Go, Leafs, go. Sonia Santos as well. I love it. All right, Miami, go Islanders. Where left field? All right, Yankees fan, love it. Good luck there to your Islanders this season. Great to see you, CK and Sonia Santos. Go Jays, go.
And on the Sirius XM may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. You can see slight shades of pink and orange and yellow as the sun sets just past the left field corner. The Blue Jays into the 8th inning now in this Game 1 of the ALDS. They lead it 6-1, and with that larger lead comes some changes for the Blue Jays. Miles Straw came in to run for Anthony Santander last inning. Straw now occupies his defensive spot in left field, and the Blue Jays have also lifted Addison Barger from the game after his last at-bat. They'll shift Ernie Clement from second to third and bring in Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the former Yankee, to play second base. So IKF at second, Clement at third, Straw in left now. Santander and Barger out of the game. New pitcher for the Blue Jays, left-handed reliever Brendan Little is in. 6-1 Blue Jays. Little goes left on left with Trent Grisham. Southpaw's pitch. Fastball for strike 1. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Little's 0-1. Bend to the knee and a good take there by Grisham on a curve low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clean-shaven lefty Little with a sinker, a cutter, and a curve. His 1-1 pitch. Grisham takes down and away on the curve, 2-1. Little found some success near the tail end of the regular season, going to that cutter more, a pitch that he could land for strikes more often than his other two.
I like that pitch. We haven't seen it yet in this outing, but I like that cutter from Brendan Little.
His fourth pitch to Grisham. Called strike. They call that one a four-seamer. I believe that was his cutter at the bottom of the zone. It's 2-2. Grisham taking issue with the call. Pitch was about half a ball low.
Yeah, tough call, especially down 6-1. You could tell that Trent Grisham is pretty frustrated.
Grisham was subject of the missed call in the first inning. First pitch of the game, he fouled off his foot. The umpires did not see that the ball hit his foot, and it rolled to first, and Vladdy stomped on the bag for the out. 2-2 pitch. On the ground towards short. Andres Jimenez gathers, throws over to first, a little low, but Vladdy has it, and there's one out in the top of the 8th inning.
In a 6-1 ball game as a reliever, your job is to just throw strikes. Brendan Little has struggled with that at times this season. He loses the zone from time to time, but that was a good at-bat against a very tough left-handed hitter in Trent Grisham.
You might know who those boos are for. Aaron Judge is up for the Yankees. The Yankee captain, 1 for 3 in this game with a single. Little offers home. Outside, ball 1. Not that a 1 for 3 day with a single is bad, but in the biggest spot of the game for Judge, bases loaded, no outs, he struck out in the 6th inning, which if things don't change, still plenty of time, but if things don't change, I imagine that'll be a topic of discussion over on the Yankee side.
He swung at a ball, too.
He did. Swung at ball 4, which would have tied the game. 1-0 pitch. Low 2-0. Pardon me. Wouldn't have tied the game at that time. It would have just driven in the first Yankee run. But then a run did get walked in right after when Bellinger walked. Little has missed big to Judge on the first 2 pitches. 2 balls and no strikes. Good reason to go after him with the Blue Jays up 6-1. The pitch. Below the knees, ball 3.
You have to trust your stuff here, especially up 5 runs. You're not worried about an Aaron Judge solo shot. Just want to throw strikes and see if Aaron Judge can get himself out here.
Little's 3-0. Called strike. Cutter on the inside corner. I think sometimes for Little, it's not always about the confidence. It's just the mechanics not syncing up and the violent movement. And you've talked about this year, Chris. It's so hard for him to even know where his own pitches are going sometimes. Here's his 3-1 to Judge. And it's hit on a line left center field, down for a base hit. Varsho cutting it off in the left center gap. Judge taking off for second. Here comes the throw, and it's late. Judge slides in safely. Patting his former teammate Isaiah Kiner-Falefa on the back. Interesting risk by Judge, down by 5, but he did beat the throw by a decent amount, so maybe not much of a risk after all. It's a double, and Judge is 2 for 4.
Well, a lot like earlier on in the ball game when the Blue Jays took advantage of Aaron Judge's arm. I think that's what Aaron Judge was doing right there. He knows that Dalton Varsho is not 100%. That arm strength is not totally there. So I think that he just thought that was an easy extra take right there. And a pretty aggressive move, but I think that was a smart play from him.
Eliminates the opportunity for a double play ball. Runner on second, 1 out. 6-1 Blue Jays top of the 8th, and the pitch to Cody Bellinger. Hit off the fist, a pop-up back of the mound. Little calling for it, and he'll make the catch. Remember earlier in the year, some fielding issues at times for Brendan Little. Confident there as he backpedaled off the hill. You don't want your pitchers fielding, but Little had told me at that time when some of the errors were committed by him, he can field a lot better than he was showing. He shows it right there. He stepped on the rosin bag and still made the play.
Yeah, that's one of the things you have to deal with as a pitcher, that rosin bag. Everybody has big smiles on their face. The play was made. That's all that we're worried about.
And I put a star in the scorebook. It might not have been a diving catch, but it's a pitcher-made play. 2 outs now, Ben Rice up in the pitch. Little misses low ball 1 with Judge on second base. Blue Jays 6, Yankees 1. Top of the 8th inning. Little with a 1-0. Called strike. Right at the knees with a sinker, and he does appear to have good control over that sinking fastball in this game. Left on left, the 1-1. Rice lifts it out to center. Varsho shuffled back, now sprinting back at the warning track. Makes the catch about 1.5 feet away from the wall. Scoreless 8th by Brendan Little. Pitches around the Judge double, getting Grisham, Bellinger, and Rice to keep it 6-1 Blue Jays. At the middle of the 8th inning, you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Wake me up when we make the playoffs.
Wake up, Canada. We made it.
At Endy, we know greatness starts with a great rest. That's the beauty of sleep. It fuels focus and sharpens performance. It's how Endy helps all Canadians rise to shine. Endy mattresses are proudly made in Canada. And right now, take $150 off for a limited time. Shop now at Endy.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
You know you make me wanna.
Hi, this is Ernie Clement. This is Toronto Blue Jays postseason baseball on Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Don Valley North Lexus broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Bottom of the 8th inning in downtown Toronto. The Blue Jays lead the Yankees 6-1. Rogers Center has been singing, has been dancing today, and they're looking for a couple more runs here to help the Blue Jays feel comfortable headed into the 9th inning. It's still Paul Blackburn for the Yankees. It'll be Alejandro Kirk leading off for the Blue Jays. Again, 6-1 Toronto lead, 4 runs, 7th inning, a big part of that. Blue Jays got a run in the first, then Kirk homered in the second. Still, right now, the go-ahead run in the game, and then 4 runs, 2 of which came off a Nathan Lucas double in the 7th inning. Right-hander Blackburn is set at the belt, and his pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Outside, ball 1. Blackburn kicks and deals, and Kirk with a huge hack, looking to homer again, as he's done so many times recently. Swung through it there, going down to a knee, 1-1.
It does look like Jeff Hoffman is warming up down there in that Blue Jays bullpen, so regardless of the score, I'm sure he's going to get the 9th.
You know, you don't treat the playoffs like the regular season. Maybe they think, hey, there's a win to be had tonight. Don't mess around with it. The 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. After Kirk hits, we'll go to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Another game just started a couple minutes ago. A division series game in the National League. 2-1 to Kirk. Drilled! Left field and deep. Bellinger in a jog. He's done it again! Kirk into the Blue Jay bullpen. It's 7-1 Toronto. Alejandro Kirk is unbelievable.
Kirk really struggled in September, but he has figured something out. It is really fun to see what he's doing up there. Over the last week or so, every mistake that he's gotten, he has barreled up. And that one right there, he didn't miss it.
Second home run of the game. Here's Dalton Varsho. Blackburn's pitch is lined out to left center, and that's down in the gap. It'll roll all the way to the warning track. Varsho into second. He's got a stand-up double.
I don't care what you paid to be here at the Rogers Center. It is worth it. It has been worth every single penny. This has been a really, really fun ball game. Tense at times, but really, really fun.
2 homers from Alejandro Kirk, the Blue Jays, with 7 runs on 10 hits. It hasn't been sloppy play from the Yankees. They've just been all over Yankee pitching. Runner on second, no out, Straw up with the corners pinched in. First pitch is lined away, foul, 0-1. Yankees under the impression Straw might bunt, have the corners in. Although after that swing, Rice and Caballero each took about 3 steps back. First time hitting in this game for Miles Straw, who came in to run last inning. 0-1 pitch, outside. (7-1) the Blue Jays lead, bottom of the 8th. Blackburn with a 1-1. Line and down in right field. Varsho gets a stop sign last second as the throw comes in from Judge on a bounce on line. Carlos Fablis waited every second he could before throwing his hands up in the air. It's a single off the bench for Straw. Runners on the corners, no outs.
That was a good call from Carlos Fablis over there. Aaron Judge doesn't have the same arm strength as he did last season this time, but that throw was right on the money. That hit Austin Wells right in the chest. Dalton Varsho would have been out by about 10 feet had Carlos Fablis sent him.
And he got no outs. Still a really good chance.
Good point.
Andres Jimenez up. Varsho on third, Straw on first. Blackburn offers. Jimenez takes high ball 1. It will probably get lost a little bit in the mix if this score holds. But Andres Jimenez, with one of the biggest swings in this game, his single last inning made it 3-1. Now 7-1. Fans singing as the 1-0 pitch comes in. And it's rolled over foul. No one up in the Yankee bullpen. So even with Blackburn in trouble, they're going to ask him to try and finish off this 8th and save the rest of the Yankee relievers. 1-1 pitch. Inside, almost hit Jimenez. He pointed to the dugout saying, take a look. That might have hit him on the right hand.
Doesn't look like the Blue Jays are convinced that that hit him, but they're going to take a look anyways.
DeMarlo Hale on the phone, and they'll ask for a challenge. We talked about this a lot this year. Typically, when the player asks for the hit-by-pitch review, I mean, he either felt it or he didn't. So often, if you point over, you're going to get that overturned. We listen now to Dan Bellino.
The ruling on the field is the batter was not hit by the pitch. Toronto has challenged. The previous play is under review.
We are getting a look right now. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen, we've seen 2 looks. I haven't been convinced by either one yet. Call on the fields is that he wasn't hit by a pitch, so they got to be 100% sure to overturn. Will note, in the playoffs, you get 2 challenges rather than 1, so there is a little reason to be more aggressive.
I would imagine this is not going to be overturned, but, I mean, I've been wrong multiple times this season, so you never know. But this is another one of those cases where the protection, whether it's the elbow or the hand protection, the top of the hand protection that Andres Jimenez wears, has a little bit of overhang, and it might have caught that overhang.
Don't see a noticeable change in the spin of the ball, though, as it goes past him.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The batter was not hit by the pitch. Toronto will have 1 challenge remaining.
If you only have 1 challenge in a game, I don't think you review that at all. But with 2 and it being the bottom of the 8th, the Blue Jays take a chance there. It does not work out. So it's still 2 balls and 1 strike and runners on first and third.
I also really dislike, though, when it is a hit by pitch and it hit the overhang, whether it's the elbow, whether it's the... I think that shouldn't count as a hit by pitch.
Jimenez not hit by the pitch rules New York on the replay review. And now the 2-1 from Blackburn. Hit on a line to left field. This could be trouble. It's down in fair territory, a base hit. Varsho in to score. Straw into third. RBI bloop double by Andres Jimenez. And the Blue Jays are pouring it on. It's 8-1.
This is really fun to watch. The Blue Jays are putting together really good at-bats. They're taking advantage of pitches that are left over the middle. Andres Jimenez having a great game. That big hit last inning, and then that big hit there. And now the Blue Jays have runners at second and third with still nobody out in this inning. This is fun to watch, Ben.
It really is. Blue Jays with 8 runs on 12 hits. Hoffman still up. Infield in for the Yankees. Pitch to Ernie Clement. On the ground, foul. Third base side, 0-1. Yankees have no one up in the pen, so again, it's probably Blackburn's inning to finish, even if it gets worse. But if you're the Blue Jays, why not run his pitch count up? Try and knock someone else out of tomorrow. 0-1 swing and a miss. 0-2. The Yankees, taking out Luis Seal in the third inning, have used 5 different relievers in this game. Second and third in the 0-2. Is lined by Clement, center field. Charging forward, Grisham. Tagging at third, Straw. Grisham makes the catch. Here comes Straw. The throw bounces in offline. It's a sac fly for Ernie Clement and a 9-1 Blue Jay lead in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out.
Another good swing, another good at-bat. Ernie Clement not trying to do too much. You can see him try to lift that baseball, get it out to the deep outfield, and he does just enough to score Miles Straw from third base. 9-1 Blue Jays, really pouring it on.
7 combined runs in the 7th and 8th. This was a really tight, tense game until that 4-run 7th. George Springer up in the pitch. Outside, ball 1. But it's the playoffs, and it's crazy. You can never sit on any lead, and the Blue Jays showing that as they've tacked on 3 here in the 8th inning. A look to second, and Blackburn's 1-0. Down and away 2-0. The runner on second is Andres Jimenez. Two-0 pitch. Hit foul, 2-1. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th in the first ever playoff matchup between the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. When they were ultra competitive, only one team escaped the division. In the wild card era, they've never matched up until now. The 2-1. Hit sharply, a 1-hopper to short. Picked up by Volpe near his stomach, and he'll throw to first to get Springer. 2 outs. And this is not to single it out, but think about this for the Blue Jays. 9 runs on 12 hits. And George Springer's 0 for 4. They haven't even needed a big night from George Springer, and they've still been able to get to Yankee pitching.
I mean, that's really what the Blue Jays have been able to do for the majority of this season. When it's not George, it's somebody else. When it is George, it's everybody else too. They've just been putting together good at-bats, putting together good swings. Like I said, this is a fun team to watch.
Speaking of, Nathan Lucas comes up, takes low ball 1. He really broke it open with his 2-run double in the 7th. It's now 9-1 Blue Jays in the 8th. Jimenez on second, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Lucas down to a knee, was way out in front of that breaking ball from Blackburn. 1 ball and 1 strike. If Lucas can keep the inning going, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is on deck. 1-1 pitch. Fought away foul. High fastball chopped at by Lucas. It's 1-2. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Dodgers and Phillies are underway. That game scoreless in the second. Shohei Ohtani against Christopher Sanchez is the pitching matchup. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Here's the 1-2, and Lucas pounds it into the ground, foul, first base side. Brewers won 9-3 over the Cubs earlier today on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Blue Jays up 9-1, scoreless Dodgers and Phillies, and the late game tonight is the Tigers at the Mariners, the other side of the American League bracket. 1-2 pitch. Lucas fouls it away. Even up 9-1, the Blue Jays fighting here. Grinding away Paul Blackburn, who's thrown 24 pitches in this inning. Blackburn set. Jimenez on second, and the 1-2 to Lucas. On the ground, off the mound, up the middle, and through. Coming around third, Andres Jimenez. He'll score without a throw. Lucas drives in another, and the Blue Jays up to double digits, leading 10-1 over the Yankees in the bottom of the eighth.
You can't say enough about what Nathan Lucas has done, not only today, but over the course of this season. He's played an incredible right field, come up with a couple of huge catches out there. But just every single time he's up at the plate, he refuses to go down, puts together good at-bat after good at-bat. Didn't try to do too much with that pitch, just got the barrel to it and found a way to get it through that hole up the middle.
He's on first. The pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is way high, ball one. For the Blue Jays, that was their 10th run on their 13th hit of the game. The Yankees have 1 run on 6 hits. Lone Yankee run came in on a bases-loaded walk. 1-0 to Guerrero. Outside, ball 2. It is worth noting that the last time the Blue Jays won a playoff game was in the American League Championship Series in 2016. 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Then Russell Martin and Edwin Encarnacion were on the field. One of them threw out the first pitch today, and the other one was in a box. It has been a long time since they have left a playoff game, just a game with a win. 3-0. Vladdy takes a strike on the corner. The 3-1 pitch. Guerrero lines it down in right field. Off the end of the bat, it died in shallow right. Lucas up to second. Vladdy has 3 hits and a sacrifice fly in this game, and the Blue Jays continue to pound Yankees pitching.
He's 3 for 4 in this ball game, and 2 of those hits are to the opposite field. One of those hits was, of course, the home run. But the most impressive thing to me are those 2 hits going the other way, not trying to do too much with those tough pitches on the outside part of the plate. That pitch right there might have been off the plate outside. He's just sticking the bat out, finding a way, a lot like Nathan Lucas did in the plate appearance before him. Just such impressive approaches up there, and that's what they've been doing for the majority of this season.
5 days ago, where Vladdy was at mentally and physically, I don't think he could put some of the swings that he put on today. But the break, a huge deal for him. He got the scoring started for the Blue Jays, and after his solo shot in the first, Blue Jays have added 9 more to lead 10-1. Jeff Hoffman's been waiting in that pen a long time. Not sure if he comes in, although they heated him up, so they might just want to use him here. Even up 10-1. Former Yankee Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to the plate. First and second, 2 down. And the pitch. Called strike. For IKF, this is his second trip to the playoffs. He played 6 games with the Yankees in the postseason in 2022 when he was their starting shortstop before Volpe took over. 0-1 pitch. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. IKF is now the 9th Blue Jay to hit in this inning. Blue Jays with 4 runs in the 8th. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased outside. It's 1-2. Whenever we get to the 9th inning, it'll be Stanton, Chisholm, Caballero due up for the Yankees, although they have options on their bench as well. 1-2 pitch. Hit on a line, caught on a knee at second by Jazz Chisholm, and that will end the bottom of the 8th. 4-run inning for the Blue Jays. Jeff Hoffman about to enter with a 10-1 Blue Jay lead. Ninth inning coming up. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays fans, while you're listening to your team in the playoffs, we're helping you win your fantasy football league right now on Fantasy Sports Radio.
There are no tight ends that are just productive every single week. Stop spinning around in circles chasing your own tail. Do you want to know how you avoid trouble? Don't chase.
If you want to celebrate your fantasy football crown with some victory poutine, we're here every day of the year on Channel 87 and on the Sirius XM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Basketball is back.
We're talking here with Anthony Edwards.
Every time I get to step on the floor, I feel like it's my first game again.
From the hardwood to the headlines, we're bringing you inside access to every NBA team with exclusive interviews and analysis.
Joined by the one and only Steph Curry.
We understand we're working towards something bigger.
Hear a new season preview show every night at 7 and 8 Eastern. Only on NBA Radio, Channel 86 and the Sirius XM app.
Now through October 31st, SiriusXM is giving away a pair of tickets to every MLB postseason game through the World Series. Listen to MLB Network Radio for the clues to be the first caller to correctly name the postseason hero. You'll receive a pair of tickets to an MLB postseason game. MLB Network Radio has your chance to win on SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app. No transportation will be included in connection with these prizes. For full contest information and official rules, visit SiriusXM.com/MLB Postseason Heroes 2025. No purchase necessary. Open only to current SiriusXM subscribers prior to September 19th. You must be a U.S. resident over the age of 18.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the ninth inning, brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Want more from your vehicle? Try Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline, fueling every drive with a fuel like no other. A 4-run eighth has made it 10-1 Blue Jays going to the top of the ninth in Game 1 of the American League Division Series against the New York Yankees. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Pitching change for the Blue Jays, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. They had him up, so they'll bring him in. Jeff Hoffman enters the game for the Blue Jays, top of the ninth, up 10-1, and he starts off against Giancarlo Stanton.
Jeff Hoffman hasn't pitched since September 26th against the Tampa Bay Rays. He threw one inning, walked a couple guys, but he didn't give up any runs.
Season ERA got down to 4.37 by the end of the year for Hoffman, who results-wise had a strong September. His pitch to Giancarlo Stanton, called strike 0-1. And in the Blue Jay clubhouse today, few, if any, were as excited for tonight as Jeff Hoffman, who had said he'd been waiting about a decade for this moment since he was drafted by the Blue Jays. The 0-1. Lifted by Stanton, foul territory, third base side. Clement under the mile-high pop-up, makes the catch, and quickly Jeff Hoffman has an out in the ninth inning.
And that's good to see. Not only that he got Giancarlo Stanton out on two pitches, but the fastball velocity, both of those fastballs were 97 miles an hour. We haven't seen him throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in about a month and a half. That rest might have been good for him.
You can see why the Blue Jays went all out for the break so much and how they have come out of the gates here. The Yankees, sure, they were in more of a rhythm, but they just had to grind out a really tough series against the Red Sox, while the Blue Jays pitchers and players got to heal up a little. Pitch to Jazz Chisholm Jr., fouled back 0-1.
3 straight fastballs at 97 miles an hour. If you're John Schneider, you're looking up at that radar gun, you're very pleased with that.
12th postseason appearance for Hoffman. His 0-1 inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hoffman was instrumental in the Philadelphia run to the National League Championship Series in 2023. Pitched 7 innings to a 2.5 ERA that year. The 1-1 outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Blue Jays 10, Yankees 1. 2 outs away from their first playoff win in near a decade. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Location was interesting, but a lot of movement on that middle in slider, and that's what had Chisholm with a wild hack 2-2.
Yeah, that's probably not where they wanted it. If you're going to throw that slider again, better get him down below that strike zone.
Hoffman kicks and deals, and the pitch is low ball 3. Missed downstairs that time with a splitter, and it's full count. May as well go right at Jazz Chisholm, up by 9 runs. Before Hoffman can do that, Chisholm asks for time, and he's moving dirt back and forth with his left foot, then his right foot at the back of the lefty box. Hoffman set at the belt, and the 3-2 popped up foul out of play. Chisholm swung at ball 4, a fastball above the zone and a little bit outside.
Yeah, like you said, you're up by 9 runs. You're just pounding the strike zone. You're going right at these guys. You're not nibbling. You're not trying to throw sliders below the strike zone. You're coming right after him with that good hard fastball.
Three-2 pitch to Chisholm. Hit high in the air, shallow left center. Miles Strauss started back, walks forward, makes the catch, and there are 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning.
This outing from Jeff Hoffman has been very encouraging. I know it's just a couple of pitches, a couple of batters, but we haven't seen an arm like this, a fresh arm like this from Jeff Hoffman in quite some time.
1 out away from the Blue Jays taking game 1 of this ALDS. Jose Caballero up, takes a first pitch strike. Hoffman set at the belt. And the 0-1. Caballero pokes it foul. And one pitch separates the Blue Jays from their first win in the postseason in 9 years, and what would be a massive swing in this series to take game 1. 10-1 Toronto, 2 outs, top of the 9th. And the 0-2. And he hit him. 97 missed up and in. I think that got the numbers of Caballero, thankfully, and nothing worse. Obviously, no intent there. But you can understand if Caballero is not super enthusiastic about that, taking 97 on the upper back, or really on the shoulder. So Hoffman puts on Caballero with 2 outs.
Yeah, to me that just looked like Jeff Hoffman was trying to throw 100 miles an hour. Overdid it just a little bit. You can understand he wants to end this ball game on a good hard fastball up in the strike zone, get the swing and miss. The crowd goes crazy. Zone back in here and make a good pitch to Anthony Volpe.
No hold on Caballero at first. He'll jog to second as the first pitch to Volpe is in there for a strike. Caballero moves up 90 feet on defensive indifference. Volpe is the lone Yankees run in the game when he doubled to lead off the 6th. Yankees only got 1 out of a bases loaded, no outs situation. 0-1. Foul tip, and he lost the bat into the Blue Jay third base dugout. It's 0-2.
Carlos Fablis came flying out of that dugout. I think it went right past him.
He was the smartest guy. Everyone backs up when it's going in there. Carlos ran forward under the bat to get out of the way.
We're getting the replay here. Yeah, that was really nowhere near anybody. Still scary, though.
Volpe will get a new bat. Can't imagine that bat broke, but maybe it did on hitting the dugout.
I think he's just getting that pine tar stick over there, or the spray.
But he dumped off his old bat to the bat boys, taking it back into the Yankee dugout.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I mean, maybe just feels like a bad omen there, losing the bat on the swing. Either way, new piece of lumber, freshly pine tarred up. 2 outs and an 0-2 count on Volpe, with the Blue Jays holding a 10-1 lead, top of the 9th. Hoffman sets. And the pitch. Called a ball, had the corner easily, but we'll go to 1-2. Caballero on second. Hoffman set again. 44,600 on their feet. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
Yanking that fastball just a little bit, trying to do too much. Again, it looks like he's trying to throw 100 miles an hour here to Anthony Volpe.
Although, granted, his 0-2 pitch was right in the strike zone. And Chris Siegel disagreed. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blue Jays win 10-1, and they take the opener of this ALDS over the Yankees.
That was a fantastic performance from the pitching side, from the offense. That's exactly what the Toronto Blue Jays have done for the majority of this season, put together good at-bats, just are relentless up there. Eventually, they get the mistake. Eventually, they put together runs. Keep in mind, this was a 2-1 ball game in the top of the 7th inning. This was not a laugher until very, very late. The Blue Jays played a very clean ball game, and I know that the 10-1 score looks like the Blue Jays were in control for the majority of this ball game, but they were not. The Yankees had their chances, and the Blue Jays pitching staff came up with big outs when they had to. This was a great game overall.
Blue Jays win it 10-1. We are waiting right now for one of the Blue Jays stars to join Sportsnet's Hazel May down on the field. And Kevin Gausman, Chris, really, really strong in this game. It ended a little bit shaky, but Gausman ends 5 2/3, 1 earned run. They needed someone to set the tone out of the top of the first inning, and Gausman appeared to do that.
Yeah, I thought he was great. One of his best outings of the season. Yes, the box score probably doesn't say one of his best outings of the season, but with the pressure, with the crowd, with this Yankees lineup, and as potent as they are, Kevin Gausman was absolutely as good as he needed to be, made great pitches when he had to, lost the zone a little bit in that 6th inning, but other than that, he was absolutely fantastic. The velocity was there, the split finger was there. I was really impressed with what I saw from him.
It was certainly his best playoff start as a Blue Jay as he picks up his first playoff win as a Blue Jay. But let's go down to the field now. The guy who hit 2 homers, Alejandro Kirk, is with Sportsnet's Hazel May.
Thanks very much. A big applause for Alejandro Kirk, who launched 2 home runs in the Game 1 victory for the Blue Jays. Alejandro, you got hot at the perfect time. Over your last 10 plate appearances, a whopping 5 home runs and a double. Incredible. How do you explain the power returning? Why do you think over the last 10 plate appearances, what's been working there?
I mean, this is what you work for, right? You want to be here every day, like fight every at bat, and that's what I'm doing right now, fighting every at bat, and I feel good.
You did a great job behind the plate for Kevin Gausman. 5 2/3, just 1 earned run with 3 strikeouts. You guys did a really nice job containing Aaron Judge, particularly with the bases loaded. He swings for strike 3. How are you able to limit the damage from a former MVP?
I mean, Gausman is a really good pitcher. That's why he's our guy, right? And he did a really good job this night. And I mean, he's our guy.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is also your guy. He got things off on the right foot. His first career postseason home run when Vladdy is on fire to kick off the game. How does that help you guys in the dugout? What's the feeling in there? Is it a big boost?
I mean, that was really important for the game, right? I mean, he started everything, and we just followed.
Congratulations, Alejandro Kirk. The Blue Jays have won their first postseason game since 2016. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, Alejandro Kirk and the Blue Jays take Game 1 of this ALDS.
That was Sportsnet's Hazel May with Blue Jay catcher Alejandro Kirk. He homered twice as the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 10-1. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the play of the game, get you some of the final numbers, and then send you over to Blair and Barker. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance. Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. Metro Compactor.
There we go. Now we've got the microphone. All right. Get on there. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Jays with a dominant 10-1 victory over the Yankees in Game 1 of the ALDS. Kevin Gausman gets the win. Luis Gil with the loss. A great performance from a few Blue Jays, none other than Alejandro Kirk. Absolutely huge game today from Alejandro Kirk. 2 home runs, a double. Unbelievable. Vladdy as well, 3 for 4 today. Nathan Lucas, 2 for 5. Came up with a big hit. Dalton Varsho, 2 for 3. What a day it was for the Blue Jays. The bats came alive when they needed to. The pitching was solid all day. Kevin Gausman with 5 2/3 innings pitched, followed up by the strong Blue Jays bullpen, and even Jeff Hoffman got in on the action at the end of the game to get that playoff baseball under his belt so he doesn't come in tomorrow afternoon if the Blue Jays are up by 1 run, coming in for a closing opportunity and being like, oh, we should have played him and pitched him last night and rested him. So, gotta love what we see there. The Leafs are playing right now as well against the Red Wings. They just got a power play. We are going to send everyone over to the Leaf stream that's going right now. Flourish, thanks for hanging out with us. Go Jays, go. Tomorrow we'll be back right here. Woo. We'll be back right here on Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central for game number 2. Let's see if the Blue Jays can get a commanding 2-0 series lead heading back to the Bronx. Only needing 1 would be a great position to be in for our Toronto Blue Jays. So tomorrow's game is going to be absolutely massive. We'll let this run here a little bit. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go Jays, go. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. And go Leafs, go. Let's beat the Red Wings and finish the preseason strong. We'll see you guys real soon, everybody.
Driven to right field, hooking toward the corner. That ball's down for a base hit, bouncing into the wall. Jimenez scores, Clement scores. Stop sign for Springer. Lucas in a second, a 2-run double makes it 5-1 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 7th. Nathan Lucas does it again, and his dream season continues into October.
Nathan Lucas has come up with big hit after big hit this season, big play after big play in right field, and today really was no different. It was almost like this was the culmination of everything he's been working on over the course of his 10-year professional career. It was a lot of fun to watch, put together really nice ABs. That's what he does. That's what the Blue Jays do. I don't want to say he's the leader of putting together those good at-bats and that approach, but man, he hit 360, I think, in AAA in 2023, 330 last year, and he looks like a guy that could potentially be a big leaguer for the next 6 or 7 years. I'm really impressed with what he's doing, not only just this season, but in one of the biggest games in recent memory for the Toronto Blue Jays.
He'd drive in 2 in that 4-run 7th and 1 more in that 4-run 8th inning as the Blue Jays took game 1, 10-1, the final score. Run on 6 hits, no errors, 7 left for the Yankees. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors, 6 left for the Blue Jays. Kevin Gausman gets the win. Luis Gil with the loss. Gausman 1-0 in the postseason. Gil 0-1. 3-hour, 6-minute game in front of a season-high 44,655 fans in Game 1 of the ALDS goes to the Blue Jays in this best 3 out of 5 series. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. 4:08 Eastern, first pitch at Rogers Center. Trey Savage matches up with Yankee ace Max Fried. Blue Jays look for a stranglehold. Yankees look to even it up. We hope that you can join us then. But for our technical directors today, Stephen Coyle, Andrew Adamson, Tom Young, our producer, Nick Blackmore, our host,